Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and it's Friday Night Tights, ladies and gentlemen. And down in San Diego, I have my good friend and co-host, Dennis Bithoulkas. How are you, Dennis?
I'm doing good. And also with us from Parts Unknown, Susan Leighton. How you doing, Susan?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Hi, Gary. Hi, Dennis. Hey,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello, everybody in the chat. How's it going? So this is, of course, our Friday night podcast where we talk about anything and everything that you want to talk about, plus some topics we have laid on the table. Dennis has come up with some brilliant news tonight, and our main topic is going to be reboots, and we're going to get to that later. We're going to let some more people come in. The reboots are getting ridiculous, folks, and yeah.
Reboot mania, but reboot. No Manimal. What the fuck?
I know, like really. At this point, I'm getting kind of pissed about that.
I am too. I mean, we got to get Simon. What's his name now? Simon McCorkin, or I can't remember what his name was. The guy who played the main character.
Phil McCracken.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
All right. So while we wait for everybody to come in, first I want to address. I don't know if you guys heard. There's a channel called The Quartering. There's a guy named Jeremy. He was assaulted at Gen Con, I believe. He does some controversial stuff on he's got a couple of YouTube channels. I think one is a magic card one, and the other one he talks about all kinds of stuff that again is somewhat political and controversial, not stuff we talk about here, but I just wanted to pass on. I hope you get better. That it really sucks to hear people getting assaulted for speaking their mind on YouTube, and I guess the guy got arrested, and maybe justice will be served. We'll see what happens. But as a YouTuber, as we are all YouTubers, and now Susan, people we show our faces, and not that I'm going to worry about anything. Somebody might want to sock me for the Cloak and Dagger review, baby, bring it on. But yeah, I'm really sorry that happened. So I just wanted to pass on well wishes, and hope you feel better. No matter what, whether you agree with somebody or not, punching people is still not okay. All right. It's just not.
Litigation.
Yeah. Jesus. But that aside, hi, everybody. How's it going? I am excited to talk about a lot of stuff tonight. And our title is not clickbait. You got to hear us out on that one. Okay. So yeah, we'll explain.
I think we should start with the news that dropped today, and this will kind of explain a lot about it. Disney is trying to buy back the TV rights for Star Wars from TBS and TNT for their own streaming service. Now AT&T owns TNT and TBS, and they have another 6 years on the contract. So they're going, no, I don't think so. We're keen to keep him. We're keen to hold on to it because they had it for everything except for A New Hope, which they had to do a different contract for as well.
See, I did not know this, and this is where all these mergers and everything gets completely murky. And again, hello everybody in the chat. We will get to you very shortly. Random Gamer User 42, how's it going? All right, so it says here Disney is seeking Star Wars rights back from TBS TNT. Now, is this what rights is this exactly? Is this streaming rights or?
Yeah, they can show it on their channel, and they can also show it on their apps. So they have
6 more years.
For 6 more years, yeah.
And Disney didn't think about this when they were making their whole streaming service.
Well, they made the deal with Lucasfilm.
Okay, and that carries over, of course. And they thought, well, we'll just deal with it later, and now it's later.
Yeah.
So the world's largest entertainment company tried to buy back the TV rights to Star Wars movies from AT&T Inc.'s Turner Broadcasting, so it can offer them on a new streaming video service, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. According to Bob and Sue at the water cooler.
Yep.
I just don't see Disney getting the rights back, and I think it would be hysterical because they didn't have the foresight to think about it. I don't blame AT&T and them for not courting their offer. They want compensation for it, and rightly so.
Well,
So,
they know it's worth money. That's the
Let-
whole thing.
yeah.
Let's look at the precedent. Let's go to Batman 1966, which was owned by Fox, and Warner was trying forever to get those rights back. And they had to do some kind of trade or was it Fox or Disney? I can't remember who owned the rights, but
It was Fox. Yes.
Fox,
You're right.
yeah.
and they had to do some kind of trade, and I can't remember what it was. I thought it was for oh my god, wasn't it for some original? I thought it was Disney, because I thought it was like some original. I can't remember now. That might be
I can't
something else.
remember either.
I'm
Yeah.
mixed up on that one, but I know they couldn't get the rights back forever, and that's why we couldn't get Batman 66 on video. Now that happened eventually, but it took years and years and years for that to happen, because I know they wanted to release it. They wanted to release it back when the Burton Batman came out, and they couldn't do it. And they've been trying since then. So AT&T should ask for the world. And you know what? If I was AT&T, I wouldn't take any amount of money. I would just I would do it, or I would do it for 3 years and then make a deal just to be dicks.
I think Disney realizes that their streaming service is going to suck. So that's why they're looking for big ticket items, draws. That's why they're looking at Star Wars. And that's probably why, or no, they're not pursuing Sky anymore, are they? Is that just Comcast?
Sky is still part of the deal because it's part of the Fox deal.
Okay.
So they still need to finish that deal. I know Comcast is still trying to go for Sky at the moment, so that is a separate battle that they're fighting.
And that's why they want Sky too. They want all this content for their streaming service. And I'm sorry, I'm not a Disney fan. Yeah, I liked their movies when I was a kid. But you know what? You made your bed, go lie in it. You fucked up, admit it, and move on.
There's so much. I'm going to get back to this article, but there's so much stuff out there already. Like, for example, CBS All Access has, say MASH for example. And you've been able to buy MASH on DVD or see it in reruns forever. So to actually try to sell that now is something that you can pay for when you've seen MASH to death. Now, there might be a few people out there who still want to see it, but it's very, very few, even though that was one of the greatest TV shows ever made. That's the problem they're going to have. Plus, what Dennis and I have been talking about for 4 years, the platform is so important, and Netflix and Amazon and Hulu are so far ahead of everybody as far as platform is concerned, and being able to stream 4K. They're going to have all kinds of problems. I mean, I'm sure they're testing the crap out of it. Our former co-host John did some work on it and told me some stuff that I can't say, but they've got a lot of work to do. They still have a lot of work to do. Disney made a preliminary inquiry about regaining the rights, but met resistance. That's a good choice of words by the way. According to the people who asked not to be identified because the talks were private. And I'm sure they're going to figure this out. I doubt too many people knew about this. Turner has the rights to the show, the films on its cable networks, which includes TNT, TBS, online till 2024. The programmer would want financial considerations in programming to replace the lost films. One person said the talks haven't advanced any further. Now it just blah, blah, blah after that. But this is going to be really tough, and we're going to see more and more of this. This is just the tip of the iceberg on this stuff.
Yeah, and so this actually kind of leads into, we had an earnings call from Netflix, and they were talking briefly about Marvel. This is where we got the confirmation that Daredevil season 3 is done. It's going to be released. We don't know when. We just know it's going to be released.
It's the fall of this year.
Yeah, that's just speculation. They still haven't actually said exactly where.
They said when. 2018. They didn't say when in 2018, but it's come out in 2018.
This sounds so familiar.
Familiar. And then we also have, we know Punisher season 2 is already being filmed, and also Jessica Jones season 3. But when he was asked about Luke Cage season 3 or Defenders 2, well, they said Defenders 2, nothing's happening on that front. Luke Cage season 3, they said, oh, we're thinking about things. We're thinking things through.
Yep. So the agreement runs out in 2019, and this is from comicbook.com. Sorry, not the most solid website.
Yeah.
Daredevil season 3 confirmed for 2018 release on Netflix. And this is what I've heard all along, that they were going to do 4 this year, and it was going to be every 3 months. Even though Daredevil premiered on Netflix, or the Defenders premiered on Netflix in 2017, it sounds more like 2018 is the year of the Marvel hero on streaming service. All 4 Defenders now have been confirmed for new seasons on Netflix at some point this year, thanks to some news about Daredevil season 3. The sophomore seasons of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage have already been released onto the service this year, and we've known for some time that Iron Fist season 2 is on its way this fall, actually September 7th.
Yep.
The release of Daredevil's 3rd season has been the mystery of the group, with most people assuming that the installment wouldn't arrive until 2019, given that we already had 3 Netflix shows in 2018. However, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos put a stop to those rumors, confirming that the new episodes of Daredevil will hit streaming service before the year is out. I'm going to assume it's November, December, and then Punisher will come out in probably March. Here's the deal, though. That agreement ends between Marvel and Netflix in 2019.
Yep.
So we're probably going to get, they have said they're going to do a Jessica Jones season 3. But saying it and actually doing it are 2 different things. I don't think we're getting another Defenders. And I agree with you, Dennis. I think this goes to the aforementioned Disney streaming service oh my God, there's one of the things I was looking at on eBay. It's right there. I was just looking at that. A Toy Biz thing.
What's interesting was Cindy Holland, from Netflix. When she was asked about Daredevil, her response was, "We don't have a problem with Daredevil. The season's fantastic." And that just reminded me so much of the season 3 curse that we, constantly see and hear. Oh, there's nothing wrong with this series. We just can't find a start date. Well, if if there's nothing wrong, why can't you find a start date? That doesn't bode well for Daredevil. Hate to bring this up, but like I told Dennis, this smacks of Stars and Ash versus Evil Dead. That's what it sounds like. And then season 3, they'll premiere it, and then goodbye. That's just that's whenever the execs start talking like that, that kind of is like a red flag to me.
Yep. Melissa just sent me a link like 10 minutes ago on my phone, even though she's right over there. Netflix stock went down.
Yep.
Down a little bit. And let's keep in mind with Netflix, and chat, we'll get to you next. Netflix relies, it's a lot like the company I work for, relying a lot on investor money at this point in time. They've taken out a lot of loans. That stuff is going to dry up pretty soon. And this is what Amazon has been laying in wait for the whole time, because they've got all their own money. I hear other YouTubers talking about Hulu and Netflix, and I promise you, and I have decent inside sources on this one, Amazon has been laying in wait. They have just been waiting for the pieces to fall. And they're going to be the big kahuna in all this when all is said and done. Right now, it is still Netflix. I mean, there's no doubt, but we'll see. They also said they want to be like Disney, which was weird in that article.
I saw that too. Yeah.
So why don't you be like Netflix? Yeah, I like you the way you are, Netflix. Just as you are. By the way, Movie Fanobi, $2.99. Susan behind the drapes. We're all virgins tonight. Born again virgins we are. Thank you for the super chat, Movie Fanobi.
Thanks, Movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to get Daredevil season 3, and I'm really bummed that now hopefully there'll be more Daredevil on the Disney streaming service with the same cast, and they don't decide to bring it in the MCU, because Daredevil is tailor-made for television, where I think most superheroes should be, quite honestly, especially the street level ones.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Daredevil fighting a giant beam of energy shooting up into the sky. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's my favorite.
A little later, folks, we get to read comments from Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
I got a good one. I got a good one. Hey, you know what? People are free to come in and say whatever they want as long as it's not a personal attack or anything racist or stupid. But you can disagree with us all day long in the comments. It's totally cool. We
Well,
love
you
that
can say
stuff.
stupid stuff. We're just gonna make fun of you. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, you're welcome to Feisty fan. What's up, Feisty?
Wow,
Man, it feels like
thank you.
forever since I
She's
talked to
actually
you
at
guys.
work. Oh, that's right. She's doing Friday Night Magic
Oh,
tonight.
wow. Thanks, Feisty, for the $4.99.
Yeah, thank you.
So, in about 300 years, is it going to be Friday Night Science? Considering what we were just talking about, Susan.
Yeah.
Hello from
Doing
behind the
porno for
counter
that one.
or a random comic shop. Friday Night Magic going on here. Well, I hope we're entertaining all you magic folks, and I hope you win your magic game. I don't know like how they play.
Yeah.
Can you play strip magic?
You
Whoa.
can, but I don't know if there's enough mana for that.
You
There
need
you
some
go.
mana.
Wow,
That's
Dennis,
that's
so
that's my that's
kind.
about as much as I
Oh,
know.
that was good. That was good. Well done.
Oh,
Let's
he's
get to the
tried.
chat. Let's get to the chat. Oh, we're just getting started, folks.
Oh yeah, we are.
We are.
Artemis Over Easy says, "What were the 3 banned words of the chat?"
What are the 3? Well, if I say them, they wouldn't be banned. Okay, it's one that rhymes with bag, one that rhymes with tape, and one that rhymes with frump. Okay. Those are yes. So
Oh,
I got it.
yeah, the last one I had to think about.
Yep. No, I just know politics and I I don't want to go there. Raymond Verada says Gary's t-shirt, Son of Satan, Damien Hellstrom. Yes. I want a movie, I want a TV show. I want they're really Raymond, that's what they're missing from the MCU is the supernatural side. I was hoping Doctor Strange would kind of open that up a little bit, but Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider, Brother Voodoo, all that, Satana, Son of Satan, good stuff.
Yeah, Jody says, Gary, the question is probably a matter of money, right? Maybe TBS is holding out for a larger offer. Well, they did spend $275 million on those 6 episodes, on those 6 movies.
God, wow.
Yeah, that actually was pretty good. It was a pretty good price for what was it? I think they were doing that for 9 years.
Oh well, yeah.
Eventually, AT&T is going to need something from them, and that's what it's going to come down to. Seeing that there's only 3 companies left in the world that are providing entertainment, it's all cross-pollinated or whatever term you want to use.
Here's an interesting question that if I scroll up in the chat here that was asked by let's see, it was about Spider-Man. Jesus Garcia, do you think we will get a crossover between Spider-Man and a Netflix or Hulu TV show?
No.
No, not at some point, yes. I would say like 7 or 8 years from now, definitely. You're going to start seeing what we've been hoping for from this Marvel deal all along, is we thought the TV and the comics and the movies would all kind of interconnect. At least the TV and the movies. That was such a disappointment I'd say the biggest disappointment from the MCU, aside from Fantastic Four and X-Men not being part of it, is the TV stuff not crossing over. It kind of did, but it was really pretty weak. And you own the damn TV company and you own the comic company, and it just comes down between 2 dudes who can't get along.
Yeah. Jody asks, Gary, Dennis, and Susan, doesn't Disney already have too much? Do they want to assimilate everything?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And the biggest problem. I'm sorry.
It's that they're like pod people, invasion of body snatchers.
Absolutely. The problem is, like, once you assimilate too much, you eventually you get top heavy, and then you have to start selling stuff off, and that's where stuff really gets hurt.
You get the you're gonna bow down to me and the mouse. That's what it's all about. Movie Fanobi says, have you seen Susan's thumbnail? It's been replaced by a vibrant woman. Please call authorities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He had lost at the beginning there. Sorry. Lost. That was a sign he was posting. Bad Bunny says, remember the can't hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button.
Please do. Please do. Mary Ashmead says Ancient Aliens episode 9 is barely started here. You gotta we watch it on streaming services, Mary, so we get the East Coast feed here on the West Coast. I remember it taking forever for Batman 66 on DVD because the rights being all over the place. That is true. And you know what made me think of it random was your background, because I saw it in your background. And then it reminded me that I don't have that and I need that. I don't know why I don't have that.
So Tim F says, fuck, Daredevil canceled. As we just said, after season 3, most likely no longer getting made. So
that is canceled. Now canceled on Netflix. Now it could go to Disney. I imagine it won't, because Kevin Feige will probably want his hands on Daredevil. My humble opinion, Daredevil's like really one of the better characters in the Marvel universe. He's my favorite now. But I've loved every minute of Daredevil season 1 and 2. So I think Charlie Cox is great. I wasn't sold on him at first. It took me about 5 minutes into the first episode, and then I was. And I rewatch it all the time. It is so good. So good. But no, it's just a simple, what did that guy say? It was just a simple show with violence or something like that.
Yeah, it was a simple superhero trope with action. Yeah. Like, okay, sure. Yeah, man, because Cloak and Dagger is really deep.
I don't. That was the first for me. I mean, Dennis and I both get, which is hilarious. We both get. Well, maybe you guys just don't get the TV show, but this was, you don't have the emotional depth to get this TV show, and I'm like,
emotional depth.
Yeah, you don't care about characters that are fully complex and, what was it? More emotional depth, and it's really funny. We were laughing.
Dream show. I mean, aren't the characters, if I remember correctly, they're rather young?
Yeah,
they are, and it's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be a teen drama. That's I absolutely expected that, but that's not really what we got. We got a mishmash of a bunch of stuff.
There is literally one scene where he's trying to tell a girl that he likes, that he slept with, to go and hide herself because shit's gonna happen in the city, and he stumbles over it like a teenager. And we were making fun of it in the podcast. We said, "Yeah, check yes or no in the box here."
Yeah.
Because I mean, that's how bad it was.
That's because you don't have emotional depth, Dennis.
Yeah, I know I don't have the emotional depth to get
that.
Nope.
I really don't.
I was looking for that line for here. I have it in my notes from last night. That the greatest line of dialogue I've ever heard. Which is she gives him. She had stolen his hoodie, Cloak's hoodie.
His brother's
hoodie. She's giving it back, and he's like, "Why did you take it?" It's because I needed it, but now you need it, although you don't need it.
What?
But I need you.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's for emotional depth.
Yeah.
Is there feelings in hallways too?
Yes.
Actually, there's feelings in a church.
In a church.
In an abandoned church.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like Freychick says, Dawson's Creek is more of a superhero show teen drama than Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
It got worse. Wait till we read it. I'll wait. Wait till we're like an hour in, and then
it's pretty funny. Crazy Carlos.
Crazy Carlos.
He says, "I see a porn tab open." From Gary when Gary shared a screen. Gary's looking at going, "Do I still have that open?"
No. Tentacle porn? Is that what you were asking about? I always have that window open.
Bad Bunny says 2018, the year of the pushbacks. It's going to be better than 2019, the year of the reboot.
Oh no, it's too soon. We have to wait for that.
I will wait for that. We'll talk about we're talking about 2019 in the future here.
Oh God, yeah. Well, we also, we can get through the news. Let's get some more of the chat, and then we'll hit the news again.
Yeah,
But,
I know.
I feel like we've been ignoring the chat.
No,
Marks, you haven't seen Luke Cage. Watch the first 4 episodes of season 1, and maybe the last episode, and then if you're sick someday, watch season 2 is pretty good. Like it's pretty good.
I like season 2.
Yeah.
Season 1 is there's about the first half of it is really, really good. And then when a certain character goes away, that's when it kind of goes downhill. That's all I'm going to say.
Movie Finobi, thanks for the $1.99. He says, "We need you, Gary. Peaches."
Okay. Avocados. Pineapple. No, sorry.
Mango.
Mango. That's right.
Wow.
Probably referring to what Cibola Burn. Not Cibola Burn. I'm brain farting big time now. Nemesis games from The Expanse. That's what Amos calls a character. Melba. He calls her Peaches.
Peaches. Wow.
That's right.
I like that.
Persian Scribe. This chat room might be the only place left in America where men and women, even the royal variety, can mingle without scandal. Not really.
Well,
we won't tell. I mean, definitely won't. We're not a bunch of rats or snitches in here. That's for sure.
No.
Snitches end up in ditches. Oh, sorry. That was dark.
Okay.
Reboots require a swift boot in the ass. Damn straight,
Yes.
Persian Scribe.
Except for Manimal. It needs to be made. Hashtag get Manimal rebooted. Omari Dan.
It'll be rebooted to Woman Animal. Womanimal.
Womanimal?
Yeah.
Persanimal.
Oh God.
Yes. That's the one. Hashtag Persanimal.
Persanimal. Oh man.
Amari Daniel says, hell, with a proper budget, Spider-Man would work better as a serialized show too. Yeah, it's been done in cartoons before, so why not do it? I mean, sure, it'd be probably really freaking expensive CGI wise.
I was thinking the first episode name of what Hersanimal or Womanimal, hashtag Flea 2.
I was gonna say the heat is on. Yes,
sorry.
I win that one. Jody says, Gary, Daredevil fighting a beam of light would work if the beam could kick and punch, but otherwise it's kind of silly, like watching someone punching air.
He'd have to be able to smell it too. I mean,
True.
If it's not giving off a vibration, he can't see it.
Yeah, because the light, he's blind. It doesn't work.
God, Persian Scribe says Shark Manimal Nado, the Reckoning. Oh, wow. Get on that, the asylum. Get on that.
Shark Manimal Nado, the Revenge.
Yeah.
Mary Ashmead, if Netflix dries up, I'll switch. Plus, I'll need to watch season 4 of The Expanse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of Daredevil's, like they should have a fight scene in Good Vibrations, and and everybody turns on all the toys in there, and they kick his ass.
God.
Yeah, Google Good Vibrations in San Francisco. You know what I'm talking about. That's in a mall now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's at the Metreon, dude.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's been there. That was there before I left.
Yeah,
actually.
I just moved there. Yeah, it's right where that Toy Story, the legit Toy Store used to be. Not the well, I guess that's a legit toy, but
they just switched toys. That's all it was.
That's just switched toys.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
That's what the name of the name of the store is called. Good Vibrations. Yes, they sell toys.
Yes.
Jody says at Susan Leighton, and next they'll grab a milkshake at the diner and go holding hands in the park while meeting up with Peggy Sue or something.
Peggy Sue.
That would be swell.
That'd be swell. Golly.
Yeah. Jeepers.
What's your pop gonna say?
Jesus Garcia. I just said, oh God. What do you guys think about the Craven movie Sony is working on? We will get to that. So we're going to leave that for a little bit.
We definitely have thoughts on that.
So it's in our queue of things. So
Jesus Garcia, I can answer this question. Would you like a name or movie? Hell yes.
JD Ferality, looking forward to the Knight Rider reboot. Don't hassle the Hoff. There have been 3 Knight Rider reboots already, and none of them have taken. I take that back. There was a Knight Rider TV movie that led to a Knight Rider soft reboot that led to another Knight Rider reboot, and none of them worked. All by NBC.
It's probably, yeah. You know what? They just got to, like, I don't know. Again, this is going to be the mantra. Take it to Netflix or Amazon where it'll be taken seriously and they got some money. Yeah, TV has come. They're at a stage now where you can't just make regular TV anymore. You're just not going to get away with it. The bar has been set too high by other shows, and it's just human nature. After you see a Legion, which is just a simple horror story, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. That's what that guy said, by the way. That's part of that chat. Legion is just a simple horror story that I wouldn't recommend to anybody. After you see that,
say that though, the producer came out and pretty much said that.
You know, when I was at the panel, everyone said that was there, because the only one that wasn't there was Noah Hawley. Said they don't understand the show because Noah is the one that has all of this stuff in his head. So everything that goes on the script to what they shoot, they say, and then once it goes to Noah and it goes into the back room where he puts everything together, they say from what's on the script is different from what they shoot. It was what's from different than what comes out of that editing room. Because he puts stuff together that they've filmed and they're like, okay, this is going to go this way. And they're like, no, this came out a completely different way. Holy crap. And it's a lot better. And they said each of them are good in their own part, in their own right. But no one knows exactly what this show is about except for Noah.
It's called job security.
Yeah.
That's easy. It's actually easy to do that. You just give everybody their part of the script.
Yeah.
That's it. They've been doing that for some movies. They claim to do that for Star Wars, but if that was the case, then some people probably got a 1-page script or maybe a line.
They got a cocktail napkin with some scribbles on it.
And word. They have a word.
It was a drawing.
Yeah.
Stick figures. Yeah.
Tim F says Danny the Iron Fist was better in Luke Cage than he ever was in his own shows or to the Defenders. Could not agree more.
Yeah, he was.
That was the best episode. I've actually gone back and watched that episode. It is such a fun episode.
Yeah, it is. Especially when they're sitting in the afterwards having food.
Yeah, and that's what made me realize out of most of the Netflix shows, aside from Daredevil, they all miss a kind of levity. They miss a fun episode. They need to do that more. They're a bit dark.
Yeah.
Especially Jessica Jones. That's a dark show.
Viking Bitch says Womanaconda.
Woman.
No.
How'd y'all like my title? The Herminator.
The Herminator.
Yeah, I saw that.
We can go to that one. Let's go to that one.
Okay, let's go to that one. Yeah.
So Tim Miller is making the Terminator movie with James Cameron producing, executive producing, and so he released the first picture today because Linda Hamilton is back as Sarah Connor, and we got the first picture, which Gary, if you got that there.
Well, it's number 14. You could have told me that. Here we go. This is the first picture.
I did an article on that, and I had a lot of behind the scenes with Gabriel Luna, who's the new Terminator, and I had a few shots of Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, the internet is not ablaze with excitement for this.
No.
And I think that's kind of an understatement. The stuff I saw, now I crawl around some salty parts of the internet. All right. So, that's just what I do. And wow,
It's a girl has your father.
this is going to crash and burn like really hard. And you know what, the Terminator, it's not a goddamn franchise. Can we just be real? Dennis and I have been saying, and so have many other people, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? You don't want to see that. Where is that?
Well,
Okay.
the picture of Linda Hamilton in her aviator shades, a friend of mine posted it on his Facebook page, and he's like, "Oh, look, there's Linda Hamilton in a franchise that's dead."
Yeah, and it's not really her fault. She's fine. I
No.
mean, like she's great the way she is. It's the
Schwarzenegger's
cast
back
picture,
too.
and you also look at the cast picture of the Predator. And the thing is, like when you reboot or remake something, you want to improve on it. That's the theory anyway.
Yeah, you always want to make it better than what came before it.
This looks like the CW's Terminator. I don't know what other way to put it. Show me a Terminator at least in the picture. I don't know. Yeah, this is man.
Well, that middle.
I'm sorry. All I was going to say is that they should have shown Gabriel Luna, because he's the Terminator.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. He's just going to look like Gabriel Luna. I mean, and Gabriel Luna's fine. I mean, but a Terminator should be a big, muscly dude. Okay, that's why. The reason it's popular is because Arnold Schwarzenegger was a big muscly dude who could barely act, but people freaking loved him in the 80s and the early 90s.
Well, he's in this.
He could do no wrong, and it's not going to help because he's 80, and he's not 80, but he's old.
70. He's 70.
He's 70.
Yeah.
He looks great for his age, but this has never been a franchise. This has been an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle that happened to be directed by the great James Cameron. And his involvement in this, if he's not direct, James Cameron is his touch. He's great when he directs. He's produced a lot of garbage, like a lot.
Yeah.
And
he's got to be focused on it though.
Yeah, that's what they say.
But he's not directing it. And I like Tim Miller. I think Tim Miller is a very good director. And this could be the craziest movie ever. Who knows? First impressions, while in some films are not everything, I don't know. What does the chat think? Am I wrong on this?
I also want to say that middle and it's an actress, by the way. It took me a little while to find out that that was what the case was. Is supposed to be a Terminator as well. That's what I've heard.
So this could be like the Summer Glau Terminator.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, you want to see it done right, go watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
That was on Fox. That was killed way too damn early, which was a brilliant TV show. And those were the guys involved with 12 Monkeys, right? No?
Yes. That was the same guys who did 12 Monkeys.
And I like, go back and watch that show. It holds up. Summer Glau is amazing as the Terminator. That's how Alina Headley is in it. It's fucking awesome. I mean, like, if that show came out today, it would not have been canceled. It got canceled because it was on fucking Fox.
Yep.
And I mean, the more I think about it, the more I get pissed. And I don't know if enough of you, I don't know how many of you saw it. I'd like to hear what you thought. I fucking love that show.
Yeah. Beyond News says love Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yeah. It's an awesome show. And also we had Shirley Manson as a Terminator.
Yes, as a Terminator.
Well. Yeah.
And there's been no Terminator sequel that has even gotten close to that. And I think it would actually make a better TV series. I don't know how good it is as a movie, because, I mean, how does it really push the story forward other than a Terminator has to come back in time and kill something to keep something from happening? Unless you make it a big, sprawling story, you're just telling the same story over and over again. Right. And, the comics have done all the alternate things you can do with this. It's a very two-dimensional franchise, and again, it's not a franchise, it's a vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it.
Stun the Wombat says I'm gonna have to check out Sarah Connor Chronicles. Love Summer Glau as an actress. And Bad Bunny wants to know, where is Summer Glau? That's a good question. She's probably just waiting for Joss Whedon to hire her again.
I don't know about. She's talented. She's really good. She
is good. Yeah, but I mean, that's all she's been doing. She's just been doing stuff by him, and she did the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which I was kind of surprised that she did that. To tell you the truth. you know. Raymond Verada says Linda Hamilton should do a sequel to Beauty and the Beast with Ron Perlman. Ron Perlman doesn't age. Yeah, he does, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. They did one with what's her name, Kristen Cruick, where they rebooted the series. There's that word again, reboot.
Random gamer user says, I have made a video for this. People want me to rip on it. I really can't though. It's too early to rip on it. That's I just don't know who they're making this for. That would be my question.
James Cameron's pocketbook. I mean,
it's
pretty.
He's got a lot of ex-wives.
Yeah,
well, he's got another expedition he has to fund to go, to the Marianas Trench.
True. Yeah.
Those are kind of cool. I watched his dive in that thing, and that was cool. I mean, the guy is
I like
biggest narcissist I've ever seen
with technology. He's a genius with inventions and what he does and the Robert Ballard stuff. I love it. But for me as a director and specifically as a writer, he blows chunks as a writer. He's horrible.
Yeah. Well, really he stole the first Terminator. He stole.
I was just gonna say that he's
completely from Harlan Ellison.
Yep.
And he was on set bragging about it and got caught.
Oh, did Harlan get him? Please say yes.
Oh yeah. That's why Harlan.
He has a credit
of this. He has a credit of it, and because of this, he goes and helps other people who've had their stuff stolen. Because we had, I have a friend who had a movie script stolen, and it was made into a movie that starred Dennis Quaid. And Harlan Ellison was his his expert witness in his defense, and that's how my friend won his lawsuit. Because Harlan got so pissed because he's a cantankerous guy, and would do it for like drop of a hat. If you barely knew, if he felt like they were ripping off an artist, he would go there to help. So I fucking loved him for that. So James Cameron ripped him off, and he's a talented director, kind of. Yeah. I mean, he's good. I like James Cameron.
He's good with directing special effects.
Yeah.
And that's maybe, I don't know what you would do with that. I mean, maybe keep your special effects house going like he does and consult on other films. But I just, as a director, he leaves me cold. And Carrie Dalton in the chat has a good point. She's worried about Alita, the Battle Angel Alita. What's he going to do with that? And I saw the trailer. And the whole time I was thinking, why is Alita, why does she look like that Hallmark figure with the huge eyes? I know she's a cyborg, but does she? Yeah.
You saw the latest trailer, right?
Yeah.
That actually looks better now. I mean, they did a better job. Yeah. And they kind of toned down the eyes a little bit. They're still big, but it's supposed to be like the anime. That's what they're going for, is that she's a robot. She has those eyes. She's a found robot. And actually it looks pretty good now. I kind of like the second trailer. The first trailer was horrible. I mean, it was just god awful, but that was pre-production stuff and hadn't been completed yet. And they're a little bit more in the process of rendering the stuff out. So it looks a lot better. Tim F says a serious question should be Buckaroo Banzai 2 or a show. Make it happen now. Go now. Yeah, we've talked about this before. Buckaroo Banzai definitely needs to be on Amazon into a series. And bring back the old crew. Everybody. Well, except for Perfect Tommy, because unfortunately the actor is dead.
And the final word on Terminator, the one thing I like in, especially in genre and stuff, is I like timelessness. I like it to last forever. So ask yourself this. You look at this picture. How's this movie going to look in 10 years? And I'll just leave it there.
Hated.
Yep. And that's the worst thing you want to do. Let's see some porn, some nerdrotic porn. You want to know what nerdrotic porn is? That's nerdrotic porn right there.
It is. And Voltron right here. See, there's
Yep,
Voltron
that's
right
neurotic porn. There you
with all the
go.
little pieces right behind me.
Sexy Voltron.
With the flaming sword, even. Yeah.
Flaming sword.
Apple Crows, I just noticed, but my Voltron is much bigger than Dennis's. It's actually so large, I'm having trouble finding a good spot for it.
Okay.
Oh, or we're not
Hey,
talking about toys, right? We're not talking about that anymore, right, Apple Crow?
I don't know. You know, if your Voltron's
Linda
bigger than
Hamilton-
mine, that's fine. It's just genetics. That's all it is.
Linda Hamilton looks like she wants to talk to Skynet's manager.
Oh my God. You're right, Gary. That whole picture looks like coming this fall to the CW.
That was Apple Crow. I got to give Apple Crow full credit. Sorry, I was reading the chat. That was Apple Crow.
Yeah, in our very long pre-production meeting, I said to Gary, I go, I'm glad to see William Dafoe's getting work again. Oh, wait, that's Linda Hamilton.
Oh my God.
All comments can be directed to Dennis Bithoulkas,
Yeah.
555 San Diego Avenue in San Diego, in the state of San Diego.
Yeah, no, trust me, people have been saying other things. People are like, hey, Hillary Clinton's in a movie. And it's been one thing after another. I've been reading stuff too.
I've been trying to tell you she's a Terminator, man.
Yeah. She's a man, baby.
Oh.
Sorry, I was reaching back on that one. That wasn't good. Mary Ashmead says, I was watching a lot of behind the scenes on The Expanse, and they showed how they did Julie Mao's hair in home. CGI was done so well. She was just in a hair cover bodysuit for the scene.
Yeah, I saw that. That's on the special features. That was so cool.
Yeah, you can thank Pixar for all the hair special effects that are done because of Monsters Incorporated. Because of Sully, one of my instructors, as a matter of fact, Aparna, God, I can't remember his last name. That's all he does. He's a genius at mathematics, and he does all the rendering for special effects in these animated series for Pixar. So all the dust that you see, hair movements, all that kind of stuff, it's him. If you go and look at Finding Nemo, he's in the credits like 5 times.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of special on the special features, but that just that one scene in Home in the Expanse, that's my favorite moment in that show. It is so beautiful in every way. And I just missed a chat. I was going to talk.
Hey, Susan, what's in the cup? What's in the fucking cup?
What's in the cup, Susan? Oh, dude, David Hill. Hang on. David Hill, are you still in the chat? You won. Some Expanse season 1 and 2 Blu-ray. You're one of the winners, my man. So go to the About section of this channel. You'll see an email address, or just email me at nerdrotics@gmail.com. Yeah. If you're cool with giving me your contact information, I promise I won't watch you sleep for long. I mean, only for like an hour.
Tequila vanilla latte.
It'll just be outside the window. I won't even come in the house.
Yeah.
You're drinking tequila vanilla latte?
Yes, I am.
A tequila vanilla latte.
Yes.
Okay. Right on. Cool.
All right.
Now I'd try that. I mean, if I had tequila, well, I usually just drink tequila, but you can mix anything with it. I used to like Mountain Dew and Cuddy Sark.
David Hill says he sent you an email.
Awesome. Thanks, David. All right, we'll get those out soon because Mary and David were 2 of our winners. I haven't heard from the other 3 yet, so I got to give them a couple months. But if I don't, then I'm going to start doling them out to people who are in the chat. So there it is. There is another contest, by the way. If you commented or were in the chat for the Expanse season 3 Blu-ray video, you go in the running to win season 3 on Blu-ray.
Gun the Wombat wants to know, and he's like, he is saying, sorry if he derails the chat or she. Asks the question, what about Venom? What do we think about that? And I think that's coming up later, right,
The
Dennis?
recent trailer? Yeah,
with
we have it.
We'll say a few minutes. We're going to get to Craven and Venom in a few minutes.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Tequila and root beer was pretty good from what I remember. Random game user. If you can't remember it, that means it was pretty good.
It was good. Yeah. That's a root beer. I never tried that. Oh, yeah.
Lemonade
Well,
and
they
Kettle
have
One,
a
yes.
martini with espresso liqueur in it, and it's good.
If you have Stoli vanilla and ginger ale, it tastes
Oh,
exactly like a cream soda.
I'm there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last time I had anything alcoholic was actually Terminator 2 was out. What movie was out the last time I had? Yeah, Terminator 2. Last time I had anything alcoholic. Long fucking time ago.
Wow. Yeah, that was.
In a town not so far away.
Is
Jesus
there a call
Garcia,
coming?
how would you fix Inhumans, the TV show with fire?
No, how would you fix it? I know this sounds like a broken record, but Noah Hawley would be perfect to
Oh,
do
yeah.
Jack Kirby's
Oh,
Inhumans.
shit. Yeah.
And
With
say,
Kirby Crackle.
if we're gonna just dream, let's dream big. So he's got like the biggest budget he could ever have. Everything takes place in space or on the moon. There is no Earth, zero Earth.
Yep.
Medusa has insanely long hair that's always moving. Okay, the Lockjaw was kind of decent. I mean, that could have been worse. And yeah, I would go with that, and I would adapt an origin story, and I definitely do that Paul Jenkins Jay Lee story too, which was really good. That's how you fix the Inhumans. You take them seriously. For one, get them away from Perlmutter.
Omari Daniel says if that means taking Holly away from Legion and Fargo, no.
No. This is like after these shows are done in about a decade. Hallie's a young guy. He's a young guy, so
he is.
He can do like 2 shows at a time. When he starts taking on 5, we're going to get the Joss Whedon effect, and he's going to get burned out because he's a human being.
Or that Vermont effect.
How do you fix STD again with fire? Antibiotics.
Yeah. So I did a video separate. I thought the Spock thing just deserved a separate video. You can go check it out. I gave you my feelings on that. Cliff Notes version. Go ahead and bring in Spock. Go ahead and bring in Kirk. Do whatever you want to him. Do all the damage you want and make it just end. Okay. So, yeah.
No, wait. Kirk? Okay. I'm going to go off the deep end on that one. For the love of God, I don't know if anybody from STD is out there. Don't fuck with James Tiberius Kirk. Just don't do it. I will find you. I will hunt you down.
And you're saying you're saying what my wife said about what they're doing to Spock now. The damage is done. So I'm just saying go full throttle, do all the damage you want to do, and make this show so unwatchable that they'll erase it from canon. We'll forget about it. We'll forget it. It'll be a funny little thing like, remember when they tried that Star Trek Discovery? That was funny. Those guys.
See,
yeah.
I want them to bring in Cybok as well so that we can have Cybok, Spock, and Burnham, and they can all end up on Jerry Springer. And they can talk about how shitty a father Sarek is.
Oh, my God.
And then there'll be an unannounced pregnancy. And then there'll be a paternity test with a surprise.
Spock and Burnham are going to be lovers. And
that's it.
Feelings in hallways.
No. Cybok and Spock will be lovers.
No, I thought Kirk and Spock were going to be lovers. I thought they would just go ahead and do that.
No.
Why not? At this point, have we pissed enough people off already? Doomcock's probably.
Persian Scribe says, Susan, how about Jane Tiberius Kirk? Would that work? Oh. So I did a video on it. It's getting so ridiculous, and they are just fucking getting started. And this is after they fired writers. They've come out with this fucking news, and I can't fucking believe it. And I wasn't even going to do a video, but Random did one, Doomcock did one, and Doomcock even says, like he put out a call to resist this shit. So I'm like, all right, I got to do one. And I don't usually do shit like that, but I felt the need. Plus, I had time. I had like an hour to kill. So
idle hands.
It's like I every time I open up the trades anymore, I get angrier and angrier because I feel like my childhood is like slowly dying. They're taking everything and they're just digging a grave and going, hey, Susan, remember that show that you loved? We're going to fuck it up. oh, okay, just dig the grave. It's just like every day, every
See,
day.
you just got to do what I do. Is I think of what's the worst thing I can think up of, for shows, like a show, like a
Yeah.
reboot or something like that.
Oh, they're
And
doing it.
oh yeah, and
We're
then
talking
It's called
about
Star
it
Trek
tonight.
Discovery. I dare you to. Well, Last Jedi is Star Trek Discovery. It's a toss up, but
they surprise me though. Sometimes they really do. I come up with some really horrible stuff, but they surprise me. Mike Krychek says, add a Tribble as head of security named Burp.
Oh,
all right,
why not?
let's get to Craven and Venom.
Yes. So Craven, the hunter, is being. They actually just got a writer. For Sony. Sony is making this, by the way, and they just got a writer. The guy who did Equalizer 2, I believe, is what it is. Yes, Equalizer 2, and his name is Richard Wank. Wank,
Wank
W-E-N-K,
or wank?
not Wank. Wank.
Good.
Yeah, I know. So yeah. And I don't know how they're going to work this in because Craven the Hunter is usually associated with Spider-Man, but there is no Spider-Man. Supposedly, I guess. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do this.
This is Amy Pascal asserting her power.
Yeah.
For one, Craven is kind of my favorite Spider-Man villain. I think he'd work the best in a film. It'd be great to see him fighting Spider-Man, and you can have. I mean, he's a formidable foe, and he's basically the Ra's al Ghul of Marvel. But it's Sony doubling, tripling down on fucking with Marvel. That's basically what they're doing. They're trying to assert their power.
Well, and is this the right way to introduce Craven? Because this will be the first time Craven's appeared, on screen. So why wouldn't you want to do a bigger, like you said, Gary, why wouldn't you want to go all out and, do something bigger with him? Because he ranks up there with Mysterio.
Yeah, but they need to. I mean, he's part of the Sinister Six, but he needs to be introduced within Spider-Man. And Sony's they're trying to assert their own cinematic universe into the Marvel one. They want to be full partners. All right, and kind of think of Marion, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm your goddamn partner. That's what they're trying to do. And then think of Kevin Feige's look on his face when Amy Pascal was describing Venom possibly, or some parts possibly being in the MCU, and he's all, huh? What?
Yeah, she says, oh yeah, Spider-Man, no, Venom is in the MCU. And he went, what? He kind of looked at her like, huh?
Yeah. So they're trying to force their characters in the MCU. And they're trying to force a partnership. And honestly, I didn't think it had a chance in hell. But now that I know that they own part of, not just distribution rights, part of the character Spider-Man, like, it's going to be almost impossible for Disney to get Spider-Man back 100%, like ever. And this is your worst nightmare. This is the kind of bullshit that Disney might do in the future when they have to sell stuff off. This is a problem. This is, this kind of crap with the Fantastic Four and X-Men led to the Inhumans almost replacing the X-Men, Fantastic Four being canceled for Marvel and just basically ignored. That might happen. And, it's just bad. It's just fucking bad.
How's your father? I actually didn't get that at first. Richard Wank, Dick Wank. That's the name of the writer.
I love you, Viking Bitch. Viking Bitch gives us $2 with stop the reboots and get off my lawn. Perfect.
Right? Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the $2.
Thank you.
Yeah. And stop. I mean, Amy Pascal must be stopped. She is so evil. And Amy Pascal is on crack. She needs a good licking and get locked in away from Marvel forever. She found a way to survive. She got fired as CEO of Sony for writing racist emails about Obama and gave herself a job as, basically running the Spider-Man character, which guaranteed her, I mean, probably that's like being lieutenant governor. You actually have more power at this point, and she's going to stick around longer. She's smart. She's freaking smart. She knows how to play that game. But our characters are going to suffer for it. And and who is going to watch I would barely watch a Kraven the Hunter movie if it's just him.
So Mika wants some good news. It says too depressing and getting ready to bow out because all the news is not good news in there. And wow, there really isn't a lot of good news, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Hollywood just isn't giving it to.
Hey,
Well, yeah,
there is one good thing. Timeless is getting a 2-part finale from NBC to wrap up the series. So there's that, at least.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy about because we actually get to, not end on a freaking cliffhanger like they did and just dump it out. So there's actually, that's some good news right there.
And at least they listened to the fans.
Yeah.
They could have ignored the fans, but they didn't. And that's good. I mean, at least there'll be closure there, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, Apple Crow, episode 1, season 7 of Venture Brothers is live.
Venture Brothers is coming. We could talk about a show we actually cover. That would be good. Venture Brothers will be live. We will be live 10:15. It's gonna be past your bedtime, man. This is Sunday night.
It's Venture Brothers, though, man.
Venture Brothers. Episode 1. It's Venture Brothers. Oh,
yeah,
that's good. You'll stay up for Venture Brothers.
Isn't Kevin Smith's news happy?
Kevin Smith's news is vague.
Very
vague.
Dennis collated this news, but I don't know if there was any good here. I can go check.
There really wasn't any good news, honestly. I was digging. And a lot of it, I was just like, what the hell, man?
Well, Mako says it literally feels like the millennials are getting into the workforce in Hollywood and ruining everything. In the end, Alex Jones might be right about that.
Maybe. I mean, that Terminator movie looks tantamount to releasing a disco album in 1986. I mean, it's old. It's an old trend, and yeah, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Here, let's go to your potential new new job here. Let's go to heroic.com.
Omari Daniels, wait, does Venture Brothers air before or at the same time as stuff like Preacher? We get the East Coast feed, so Preacher airs at 7 o'clock, so 7 to 8 for us, Pacific time. And then Venture Brothers airs at 9 o'clock for us, so 9 to 9:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Justice League storyboard artist insists Snyder cut exists. I'd like to see that. I really would. DC Comics to bring back Batman's classic costume. That's good. Some It pictures revealed of the new the Losers Club.
It 2, the Adult Losers Club.
Jessica Chastain. Yeah, there's just not a ton of news, but we can talk about we just pick a topic, guys. Why don't you pick one, Mako? Pick a topic that's happy.
Yeah. Exactly. We're waiting. Well, don't worry.
Be the change you need. We'll be hanging out in the meantime.
We'll just be sitting here playing. We're Agent Future. Thank you, $5. I guess Disney needed to buy Sony to solve their Spider-Man problem. For the record, I am not in favor of Disney getting any bigger.
Me neither. That whole Disney Fox thing is crazy and bad. Go on, Susan.
No, I was just going to say, this is interesting. Fantasy Island. No, wait. This is going to be a reboot, but I'm actually kind of fascinated with it. And it's kind of funny, but it's interesting. Okay, so Jason Blum is taking over Fantasy Island. And when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is going to be a different take on Welcome to Fantasy Island. And sure enough, it's going to be darker and it's going to be more supernatural.
Yeah, ABC did that when they rebooted it back.
With Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see what Blumhouse does with this. Because I kind of looked at it and went, why? But I have to say now I'm sort of intrigued with it now. And the Love Boat, Artemis Over Easy, the day they remake the Love Boat is the day I'm going to pull a Stewie Griffin and I'm going to take a plane with a ladder, and I'm going to LA, and I'm going to be ringing doorbells of executives. So, yeah, love both.
Yeah. Didn't they just remake Fantasy Island? Was I imagining that?
They
well,
did.
in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it? No, it was actually the early aughts.
Oh, okay, the early aughts, yeah.
Yeah, they did one with Malcolm McDowell. And Pickle says if Peter Dinklage was Tattoo 'em all in. Actually, somebody said in the comments on Facebook if Peter Dinklage was Mr. Rourke.
Oh. Dinklage is going to be Rumpelstiltskin.
Mm-hmm.
He should be Mr. Rourke and Tattoo together. They occupy
Twins.
the same body. Yes. Yeah. So let's talk about those reboots. Let's talk about
reboots. So since Sony is already making Fantasy Island, they're also going to be making 9 to 5 with the original cast because they want to update it for the Me Too era.
Because that movie wasn't. What?
Oh God. I read about it, and okay, so Rashida Jones is writing it, and her idea is 3 younger women have the same situation, so they seek out counsel from Parton, Fonda, and Tomlin. My big question is, where's the HR department? Do we really even need this movie now? I don't get it.
HR never works. Everyone knows that.
HR Puff and Stuff did.
HR Puff and Stuff did, but HR Puff and Stuff was a badass. That's why.
That's why. So 9 to 5. Are we gonna get a rap version of a hip hop version of the 9 to 5 song?
I hope we get an R&B version.
No, it won't be. It won't be. It'll be a slowed down, like alternative. Some girl mumbling into a microphone with some noise in the background.
Hopefully, we can get some house music.
Sound like Old Man Gary.
Marcus Kahn, thank you for the $1.99, but no comment. Did you want anything? Yes, we do need a dark and gritty H&R Puff and Stuff pickle.
We do.
Like a post-apocalyptic H&R Puff and Stuff. I think that would work.
HR Puff and Stuff. What do you do? Rough.
So
I blow some fucking heads off. That's what I do because I'm HR Puff and Stuff.
Apple Crow wants a dark suit of Highway to Heaven. Wow.
Sony is also remaking the Bruce Willis movie, the Bruce Willis and Kim Basinger movie, Blind Date.
No.
I didn't want that one made in the first place, and I saw it in the theaters.
No,
I didn't like the original make of that.
I remember seeing that in the theater, tell you the truth. And the only thing that saved that was Dan Larroquette.
John Larroquette.
John Larroquette.
John Larroquette. Dan is actually his brother. He really does have a brother named Dan. I'm sorry. I don't know why I also confused it with him, but hey.
Yeah, here we go. Remaking Bruce Willis's Blind Date and developed into Rake in 1997. Blind Date has been tapped. Scribes, person I've never heard of, and guy who I'm not going to hear of, depend on the script, which will take place in a modern world of dating.
And it's with the people that did The Predator and Game Night are behind
it. I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh when I read that stuff. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, everything old is new again.
Okay, that's fine. Because they don't write books anymore, apparently. And
No, they don't. Everything stopped at 1987.
What? Oh.
Yeah. And yes, they are redoing Amari Daniels, since you did ask. Sony is going to reboot The Facts of Life.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Just stop.
And
Mrs. Garrett is like 90. What are they doing?
This is with DiCaprio's Appian Way production and Jessica Biel's production house as well. So they're both to blame as well.
Which, you know what? In a second, I'll give you a review of The Sinner, season 2, episode 1. I watched it. I quite liked it. I thought it was very good. So I will tell you a little bit about that. I had to go to sleep. I was about to do a review on it, but it was really good. But here's a reboot. Batman Matt Reeves provides update on Warner Brothers. Reboot. There's a word. We're working on getting our draft in the next couple of weeks, and things are progressing, Matt Reeves said at the TCA today about the current state of Batman, the Batman redo. He is set to direct for Warner Brothers. We have conceptual stuff going on and coming into being, and my head is totally into the script that I haven't written yet. I've inserted that. In fact, I'm going to be leaving right now from Beverly Hills to work on the script because I haven't written anything. Added the War of the Planet of the Apes director, who hopes cameras will roll sometime next spring or early summer. Reeves waved off to rumors that his Batman would focus on a young Caped Crusader and Frank Miller's Batman Year One, which was one of his favorite comics. Please don't do that.
Yeah, he's not
just
doing it.
excited to be focused on the tale of defining him, Batman, in a very and is very personal to him. But in the same way, we're not doing any origin tales or anything like that. Thank you. But definitely Batman, emotional, and him being the world's greatest detective. Music to my ears.
And no word yet on whether or not Ben Affleck is still going to be wearing the cape and cowl.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like Henry Cavill's probably going to be wearing it for much longer, which is I'm like really not happy about that.
Artemis over Easy says 9 to 5 will be a role reversal with Kathleen Kennedy as the Dabney Coleman.
There you go. That's modernizing it. Well done.
Hey, Crazy Carlos gave $24.99, saying, "Okay, night, guys. I have an early flight going on vacation. # best chat ever. Doors and corners, and don't forget Vikings full review season 1. Go, go, go."
Yeah, got to figure out a time frame for that. But Crazy Carlos, thank you so much. Have a great vacation. Have a safe flight. I'll see you in future chats, my friend. Thanks for hanging out, and thank you for the $24.99 super chat. You're freaking awesome, and this is a great chat. And God, we got 76 viewers. That's great. So let's keep this thing going. Sorry. Okay. It might be bad for all the reboots, but they are awfully fun to laugh at. And
they are.
The good news is, folks, most of these are not going to happen. They're floating. TCA's going on right now. There's a bunch of shit going on right now. There's a bunch of announcements because we're getting ready for the fall season very soon.
Yeah.
And a lot of shows are going to start. Actually, shows have been announced, and we're going to get a lot more announced very soon. But I would like to talk about, after all these reboots, is Stranger Things and how this coincides with what Dennis and I have been wondering, and Susan as well. What the fuck is going on? And why are so many shows being delayed? So many shows are being delayed. And we asked that kind of knowing the answer to the question, but we kind of want to know what you think about that. So let's get to that article there.
And once again, this, because I wrote about this too, because the trailer for it is incredible. And it was just like when I watched it, I felt like I was back in my mall in my teenage years, walking around. So we know that the Starcourt Mall is going to be big. We know Ethan and Uma Thurman, Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman's daughter, Maya, is in it, a new character. She works with Steve. We know it's coming summer of 2019, and that David Harbour said that his character is going to go back to season 1, where he was more of, I guess, a badass and a swashbuckler. So they're going back to that for him. And the reason for summer 2019, according to the producers, is they want to get it exactly right. They want it to be bigger and better. And even more interesting about that is there is an end date for Stranger Things. They won't confirm when, but whenever you say it's going to be bigger and better, that usually means goodbye, everybody.
Well,
that's what I think.
Here's what they can do, and I suspect they will do this. They just pull an It. They bring it into modern times, and they age all the characters, and they have adults dealing with the same shit. And I'm convinced that's what they're going to do. Plus, when you film with kids, you have a time frame. And I'm looking at this picture on your wonderful article there, Susan, and they're already looking old. And they're supposed to, it's only supposed to be a year later. So I bet you they're going to make it 2 years later. It's not going to be, did they say it? Did they confirm it's going to be 1985 or 86?
Yes, 85.
Well, they look 2 years older in that picture. So they are filming it. They're just taking longer on post, probably.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine. I liked season 2. It was okay. They had a couple episodes that kind of ripped me right out of it. And I thought, and I don't know how much it actually moved the story ahead. That ending was a little meh. But I liked it. I did like it.
Season 2 for me was kind of there. It was good, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't like the first season. The first season was really, really good. And then I wonder how it's going to hurt it also not being released in October.
Yeah. That hurt. And Dennis, you put that in the notes, and that was brilliant. Ash versus Evil Dead being released in the spring. It just doesn't feel right, especially when you're filming a show and it's got leaves on the ground and the shadows are long. It doesn't feel right in the Sphinx. That means something. This is a Halloween. I mean, at worst, you put it out during Christmas or right before Christmas. Not summer. I'd almost be down with them delaying it till October, but I mean, they're not listening to me.
They're trying to get past season 2 because the fans were really mixed about it. A lot of people that were diehard Stranger Things fans, they lost interest in it in season 2. So I think they're trying to counteract that. But by the same token, by making it summer, I don't know what they're hoping for. But then again, it took place in the summer, and look at what that did, major box office. So I don't know if I'd immediately discount the fact when they're going to show it.
Well, it came out in September, which is still summer technically, and that's a good thing. If they do it in September, that's fine. That actually makes sense. That I agree.
And it has legs. It goes right into the fall. So
I would question hardcore fans for something that was one season. I mean, if you stuck with Stranger Things for 2 seasons, I'll call you a hardcore diehard fan. I'll call you fair weather if you bail out on the first season. That's kind of like a sports term. But I mean, Stranger Things couldn't be as good as season 1. That was special. That was like really, really, really
that was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah. And and getting that many good kid actors together. I mean, fuck. And the whole retro 80s thing that played into it too. And it's weird seeing this stuff cycle out. I'm sure you're right there with me, Susan and Dennis. Yeah. We're old enough to now, like in the 80s, the 60s were really popular. And now we're seeing the 80s popular. It's weird how life is.
Yeah, the 90s. I'm waiting for hypercolor clothing to come back again.
You mean like neon and stuff? Or
no, remember the hypercolor? You put your hand on it and it changed color because of the body heat. Or if you had the shorts.
I didn't wear any of that stuff. When was that?
That was 90s. It was mid 90s. And if you were stupid enough to buy the hypercolor shorts where the crotch would change color instead of the rest of the. Yeah.
Well, isn't that special?
Yeah. I did not do that.
Who the hell was wearing that in the 90s? Everybody was wearing baggy jeans and flannels in the mid 90s.
Trust me, hypercolor was there for a brief moment.
I was there. I was around. I existed in the 90s. Yeah. I was working in record stores and stuff like that. I don't know. That must have been some like weird mall trendy stuff then.
Omari Daniels says, wait a sec. Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke are a thing. We're a thing back in, again, the 90s.
Yeah, until he cheated on her.
Yep.
He
had a kid, and that kid is now grown.
It's after Gattaca, right after Gattaca. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Good thing there was no big internet back then, and Me Too back then, because he would have gotten destroyed. For one, who cheats on Uma Thurman, dipshit? Come on. That's your baby mama too. My God, I would worship her. I would build shrines to her every day. I would have little candles and light them and thank the gods I was married to Uma fucking Thurman, dipshit.
Oh wow. Apple Crow says my best friend at the time loved hypercolor, and Grady Broyle says I worked for the company that made hypercolor.
Nice
screen printer in Seattle.
I just didn't know anybody who wore it, so there you go. But we
Grady
were
Broyle.
cool. So here it is, Hypercolor. I'm looking it up.
Grady Broyle says, so I'm going to be a Belter cocktail waiter at the Belter themed bar at SJ Worldcon.
Holy shit! What's SJ Worldcon? Like San Jose or San Joaquin Valley or what?
That's a good
Oh,
question.
does that stand for SJW Con?
No.
It's SJ Worldcon, SJW Con. I'm just saying. What's the SJ stand for?
Yeah. You know what, Jody? That's going to be a good question. So, he says, Dennis, will they get to the 90s eventually? But what
Yes.
happens when they get to the 2000s, to the aughts? What stuff will they remake? Will they be remakes of remakes?
Yeah, well, yeah. When they get to our time, it'll be just reboots of reboots. Yeah.
Actually,
It'll be like Giorgio said in the last video. We'll be Homo sapien. We'll be at the power of 3 and everything. Right?
They will be remaking the Hunger Games.
Oh, please do.
There you go.
The Hungrier Games. They'll be the Hungrier Games.
The Hungrier Games.
The
yes.
famished games.
And we'll
The
CGI
peckish
everybody
games.
that's dead into it again.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Rebootception is what Mike Krychek says.
I like that. That's really good.
Grady Broyle says Worldcon is the Hugo Awards people. Where's it at though, Grady? That's what we're trying to.
Wouldn't that be the it's the science fiction the world. It's where they do the Hugos. SJW Con. It's kind of appropriate probably for that. What was it called again? It's
San Jose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Grady Broyle says in San Jose.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So that's where you got to go.
I gotta go. Let me find out when it is. Hang on.
David Hill says 2035 reboot of STD.
I hope so. After its long, illustrious 12-season run.
Oh, am I going to be dead in 2035? Wow, let me think about that.
Worldcon, science fiction, convention center. No, not there. Oh, there it is.
Oh, Viking bitch. Good night, Viking bitch.
Good night. She's probably got to work.
She says, I'll most likely kill you in the morning. Good night. I'll most likely kill you in the morning. Good night.
I'll be looking forward to it.
If you must. Jody says, random game user 42, season 2 was weird. The episode when 11 was on her solo mission, that felt so out of place and ruined the momentum of the story. Actually, Jody, I liked her solo mission. I wanted to see more of those kids. I didn't care about the main storyline, to tell you the truth. That was, I thought the main storyline only needed like 2 episodes, and that was it. And then they could have gone to 11 on her solo mission. So I wanted more of that.
Persian Scribe, I need to respond to that. Word on the street is Gary worked at Hot Topic and was goth who could sing all the Cure songs. By the way, I can sing all the fucking Cure songs, by the way.
You can.
And we did not have a Hot Topic. We had a precursor to that down in San Diego. Actually, the precursor to Hot Topic was Retail Slut. That was in Hollywood. That was your one-stop punk rock shop. But the knockoff for that was a place called Gamma Gamma, where my wife, Melissa, was a manager. And we like to tell all the Hot Topic kids that we put the studs in our own leather jackets. We did not put them in. We didn't have them put it in for us. So yes, listen to a lot of Cure. I did, but I mean, that was okay. I listened to the Cure when the girls were around, but then I threw on the Descendants or Subhumans or Dead Kennedys or the Crucifix or something like that.
How about My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult?
My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult is Kill Motherfucking Depeche Mode is a great one. If you want to get industrial and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love Dead Kennedys.
Dead Kennedys are fucking my favorite band ever.
Then.
Them and Jane's Addiction. I like. I've met Jello so much now, and it's weird.
Porno for Pyros, they were great.
Yeah. I loved Porno for Pyros. The first album, second album was a little, but first album was good.
But Gary, we did our own piercings back then.
Yes, this piercing was done by Melissa with a like a needle.
A needle. Yep. Needle through the nose. That was a good time.
Grady Broyle says, I'm 6'5" tall and super skinny, so I'm gonna cosplay as a low grav belter.
That is awesome. So I got the dates, Grady, and that is my birthday weekend. So I'm fucking going. I am so going. So I don't know how I got to get tickets. I'll figure out. I'll at least go one day. Excuse me. I don't know if I can go the Saturday. I think I have to work that day, but Friday or Sunday, I'll go. If there's anything Expanse there, I have to go. When does the musical start, Susan? Again, around Halloween.
The musical for Evil Dead starts October 31st. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So,
and hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out.
Well, hopefully they can get us in. I mean, like I'll pay, but like get us in. Come on. We'll give them shout outs a lot. But I'll pay. I don't want free anything. I just want to get in. I can't go the 31st though, because we're gonna some of the Nerdrotic podcast, you're all welcome to go if you'd like. Going to there's a Alamo City Comic-Con down in Austin, Texas.
Austin.
Tejas, yes.
We're gonna be seeing some other YouTubers there too. It's gonna be a little YouTuber get together. It's gonna be pretty fun, actually. So there's that.
Man. So speaking about more reboots, we also have.
I need a new pair of docks. My docks blew out the other day. I need to reboot my docks.
I have my docks I use for work, man.
Yeah, that's what I use them for work, and they, a lot of mileage on those bad boys.
FX is working on a limited series based on the novel Shogun. Remember we joked about this, Gary?
Yes.
Shogun, like Richard Chamberlain, that whole thing.
Yep. FX is going to do a limited series.
Great.
And I hope to God they can find Richard Chamberlain and bring him back.
They will. Because he was in Twin Peaks. And please do. He'll be like the old sensei.
I don't know. But for those of you who don't know what it is, back in the 70s, we had a TV version of Shogun with Richard Chamberlain, which was the shit at the time. And that was the thing everyone talked about because there's only 3 channels at the time. And that was on, for what was it, 3-4 nights, something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Miniseries. Yep.
I think I missed. Did you catch movie Finobi saying goodnight? Did I miss that?
I did not.
Yeah. Well, beautiful nerds, queens, royals, knights. He's probably long gone, but princes and court jesters. Good night. Yes, Gary. Uma can use my sword. Good night, movie Finobi. We'll go for a little while longer. I got some energy left.
Yeah. I'm going to reboot the Thornbirds. I'm rebooting that with Richard Chamberlain.
I'm going to reboot Jaws. Oh, wait. No, that's coming out on August 10th. It's called Meg.
It's called the Meg.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the Meg. Come on. It's a shark. Sorry, it's my bad.
A megalodon. It's a megalodon.
It's a megalodon.
You need to enunciate every syllable there. It's a megalodon.
Random. Oh, you want to go to Alamo City Comic-Con? Well, let's figure out a way, Random. There's always a way. We have tons of time, lots of moxie, and some brains. We'll figure it out.
Brian Smart. Hey, how's it going? And yes, the Butthole Surfers were an awesome band as well.
They were, yeah.
Pepper.
Yeah.
They did a great version of Underdog. The Underdog
yes. Yes, they did. I had that on my.
It's the Saturday. It's the Saturday morning cartoon with Reverend Horton Heat doing Johnny Quest and
Johnny Quest. That's also on my playlist as well.
Oh, wow.
It's the Blime doing Hong Kong Phooey
and the Ramones doing Spider-Man,
which came as a cassette. So these are actually rare. If you order them through previews, you got the 3 Spider-Man titles that came out that month, wrapped in a poly bag with the cassette single of the Ramones song, and they did a video for that song too. Great, and that's the best version of it. They need to put that in a movie, the Ramones version. Hong Kong Phooey. It's a good song.
Wow.
Sublime, good old Sublime.
Warner Brothers is going to reboot Alf.
Oh my God!
Well, this will be the easiest one. I mean, you just dust off the puppet and fucking go.
Oh.
Well, the way they ended it was kind of dark. The TV show.
Course.
Disney is going to reboot History, We're gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, actual human history. We're gonna take it back because a lot of it's problematic. So we're gonna, fix a few things to
Disney
modernize. They want to modernize history. So Disney's gonna embark on time travel and actually modernizing it and updating history to 2018. Thank God
Oh,
for Bob Iger.
Uh,
great.
man.
This is a great time to be alive.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a
Rebooting the
renaissance.
space-time continuum. Right?
Well, one Burnham at a time.
Wormhole.
One Burnham at a time.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like these reboots, like The Sandlot.
Mhm.
Now we're going to do Hercules' story.
Well, they're
Okay.
gonna do a prequel to The Sandlot is what they
Right.
want to do. Yeah, and I'm like, how?
What?
How? Yeah.
How? Yeah, Fox wants to do a prequel to The Sandlot.
Why?
Nostalgia, man. They're all going back
But
to nostalgia.
that's nostalgia of within nostalgia. That's the
Yeah.
whole reboot of the reboot we're talking about. I mean, that was a movie about nostalgia in a time frame which nobody would understand right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't understand it either.
The
Trust me.
dog's perspective. It's going to be how Hercules got to be the beast.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the original writer, Mickey Evans, is going to be doing it. So
What is he, like 95 now?
probably, yeah.
It's like Norman Lear. Remember last week when we were talking about Norman Lear being 96 years old and signing a 3-year deal? And we're like, really?
It wasn't true. It turned out not to be true.
He said
Really?
no. He's not doing it.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, okay. Good God. 'cause I was going to say.
How's your father? I didn't either. The Sandlot, I remember renting it. I remember working at the warehouse and renting it out to people, and I guess it was somewhat popular. I mean, I never saw it. So
kids in the 90s really liked it. We were past the age group.
grandmas in the 90s liked it. They were renting the hell out of it at the warehouse on Tuesday afternoon. They'd all be waiting outside the door when the new VHS releases were coming out, or DVDs. This is a very early time for DVDs. You had to have big bucks for that stuff.
It's true. It's very true. Mary Ashby says, yeah, did mine in the late 80s. Oh, no, they're talking about piercings.
And random gamer user. Oh, man, the butthole servers are one of my faves. I was into all sorts of stuff as a teen. That was only a couple years ago, right? Random? Come on.
Amari Daniels says, how about Hollywood try their hand at rebooting Porky's, but that would get censored to death in the editing process. Yeah, the peephole thing would be a hashtag me too. We can't do it. No, Porky's.
Yeah, there's no way.
So all of this, I've just noticed that all of this stuff, aside from maybe 9 to 5, their rebooting is like super vanilla, non-controversial, because that's a great point you bring up with Porky's. Actually, think about the movie Old School. Could you make that today? No.
Nope.
Could you make The Hangover today?
Nope. You couldn't make meatballs either, as Marx is saying.
Progressing or regressing? Yeah, that's, you can't make meatballs, Animal House, none of that stuff today.
Caddyshack. I was watching Caddyshack the other day, and I'm like, yeah, this wouldn't fly at all.
That.
Yep.
We might be able to reboot Stripes, and I hope they don't.
Well, they did with Private Benjamin. No, sorry.
They tried.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you couldn't remake. Well, Fast Times at Ridgemont High was actually based on a kind of a true story.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, and you couldn't remake that either.
No.
You used to live really close to that high school.
Yeah,
it was based
I did.
on.
I drove past it all the time. Yeah. And PCU would never be made today.
It would be a documentary. Carrie,
it would be.
So all the stuff they're rebooting is because maybe Hollywood, they've painted themselves into a corner now, and people are afraid to write. Comedy is dead, and oh well, that's pretty depressing. Let's not get in that. At least that's why you can make sci-fi and more genre stuff, because you can play with that stuff in a sci-fi setting. Problem is they're not. Reboot Blazing Saddles. Good luck.
Oh, good luck. Yeah.
How's your father? Animal House, that scene where the girl says she's 13. That girl, by the way, is also in Caddyshack. She is the Irish girl that gets knocked up. So Maggie, yes. So it's the same actress.
Yeah, Blazing Saddles will be mildly warm seats. That's what it would be. Stun the Wombat. Even that would get shut down these days. Yes, it would. Animal House would be a huge no-no. The scene where the girl says she's 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a no-no back then. I remember watching going,
Yeah.
what?
Funny story on that one. I saw that movie in the theater. I was, I want to say 5 years old, 6 years old, something like that. I had gone with my siblings, my older siblings. And yeah, so all that nudity and stuff like that, my sister tried covering my eyes. And of course, I was sitting off on the side. I was bored because I was a little kid at the time. And, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. Yeah, I saw a lot of questionable stuff as a kid.
At five, boobies are. I mean, they're just past being food. Right?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
Meh, boobies,
It was
whatever.
a different time back then because we didn't have to be hit over the head with what was right and what was wrong behavior.
Yeah.
We didn't have to have this constant message agenda thrown at us. Like when I saw Animal House and he, diddled a 13-year-old girl, well, I knew that wasn't correct. You didn't have to give me a billboard.
Yeah.
You didn't have to hit me over the head with it. I was like, yeah, but the situation was humorous, not the fact that she was 13, but the stuff surrounding it.
Yeah,
But
and
now,
that's the whole point we're making is people. Most normal people get the joke, but the loudest ones won't, and they enjoy making problems because they don't want stuff to be better. There's people who get great enjoyment just destroying things. Actually, it's human nature, and it's a very easy thing to do. That's why it's easy to go dark. And good night, Mako. Gary, it's morning here. Very depressing news. And I'm always the optimist for the future. Remember, we say this news with a smile. Like I'm actually not depressed, Meg. I'm sorry we depressed you, but I'm having fun talking about. This is how you work things out. You talk about stuff. Yeah. Good night. Sorry you got sad on this one. Sleep. It'll be fine tomorrow. Yes, I'm always an optimist. That's why I'm always smiling. I'm always smiling because life is actually really good. Hollywood fucking up some entertainment. Honestly. It's for us to point it out. And, also as soon as we get some good news from a show we actually cover, believe me, we'll tell you. We'll be the first to tell you.
My theory in all these reboots, and I know it's weird and nobody will do this, but you know how we stop the reboots, the remakes, the rehashes? Don't go see them.
Exactly.
Don't watch them on TV. And I can say this because I don't go see these reboots. I don't watch them on TV. It's so I'm doing my part. It's but we need more people to do that. And that's the only way Hollywood gets the message is if you hit them in the purse strings.
Yep.
Because otherwise we're going to get force fed all these consistent reboots, remakes, because they think we want to see it. And to some extent, Mako is right, and I don't want to offend any millennials out there, but I am going to say this. The millennials didn't live in the 80s, so to them, it's an amusing timepiece. For those of us that lived through it, we're like, why the fuck are we doing this again? So, they're targeting their demographics, which is what they always did. But it seems to me now everything's being remade because it's easier and cheaper and we're lazy and we can go through our catalogs and go, well, let's revisit this rather than hiring that writer that wrote an edgy book and get them to do the film. Like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are doing a movie about the policeman who stole $24 million from the Monopoly game at McDonald's. That's an original story. You can find stories in the news. You can, and find a writer. We don't have to go through the vault.
And this has been happening. I mean, this isn't new. I mean, we heard this argument in the 80s too when they were remaking fucking Dragnet with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd, which we actually love that movie. So yeah, this actually isn't new. It's problem, and they try to do the 80s thing because they're like, look, and get the parents and the kids. The kids are into the 80s and are romanticizing the period. None of you little kids right now. I've even heard some of you say you would love to live in the 80s. You'd fucking hate it. You would fucking hate it. You would have no cell phone, no internet, and I don't even need to go farther than that.
My favorite thing about Hot Tub Time Machine is the kid who goes back with them.
Oh.
And at one point, he's trying to get this girl's number. He's like, "What's your name?" And she goes, Molly or something like that. And he goes, "Great. Can I get can I get your email? What? Where can I text you? What?" And he goes, "Well, how can I find you?" She goes, "Just come and find me." And he goes, "That sounds so exhausting."
Exactly. Yep.
And that was our life in the 80s.
I
mean, some of us had a little more game than that, but
But I'm talking about
you had to try. I know you had to try a lot harder than that kid did, and and the thing is, you just wouldn't like it. It was fun. I had a lot of fun in the 80s. I did, and movies were better. But
see Kevin Bacon on Mashable explaining the 80s to millennials.
No,
it's very funny. When he talks about calling his girlfriend to ask her to go to Sbarro's and she turns him down. I mean, you had to work back then.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Getting shot down was part of life.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's you got to get that first couple out of the way to get. I mean, because it destroys you. It's like, oh shit, I'll never ask another girl out again. But then you just do it. It works itself out. It does, or don't. I don't know, but I did okay. It was fun. The 80s sucked for technology. You're right, Mary Ashmead. I had a good time because I partied my ass off and did a lot of fucking drugs. So what I remember, some of it was good and some of it was really horrific. I had a wonderful time in the 90s too. I had a great time in the 90s. That was, the last half, we'll say the last half was really, really good. I had a great time.
Nigel Brote Savage says, "Yeah, but in the old days, you had to walk to the next village uphill both ways, fighting saber-toothed tigers just to get shot with arrows by the girlfriend's father in the 60s and 70s.
You did.
You did.
Yep.
And don't forget, every now and then you could borrow the parents' brontosaurus to take it out for a test drive. But
it was a woolly mammoth.
It was
just a woolly mammoth. Most of Hollywood has lost the power of creativity. They have, and that's what Marcus. That's what goes on with all these fucking conglomerations we have, and all these Fox and Disney.
You know why the 80s are romanticized? Because back then you could make mistakes. You could do crazy shit, and nothing was going to happen. Like 20 years later, you're not going to hear about it because nobody was able to keep a record of it.
Mm-hmm.
You had your memory.
Exactly. And it was always faulty too because of all the drugs.
Yep. And that's why the 80s are very romantic. Sure, we had the beginning of PC culture with Tipper Gore. We can thank her for all that. But it was a different time. And we lost the ability to laugh at ourselves. We don't laugh at ourselves anymore.
Remember paging your dealer in the 90s and waiting? I paged mine in the late 80s, but it was always 911 because it was always an emergency, and waiting for him to two hours to call back, and then the waiting 2 or 3 hours at his house while he trapped you in there and slowly got your bag of weed or anything together because he was lonely and he needed people to hang out with. Or dealer philosophy. That was always my favorite, when the dealer was like cranked out of his mind and he like was telling you his like life view. Like, man, there's people in the bushes and they're always watching me, man, like whatever. Like, shit. Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, good fucking time. The FBI is really following me, man.
But Pat Bunny, try to explain sex in the back seat to these younger. They just don't get it, especially in the back of a.
Well, if you say the back seat now, they might think something completely different than.
Yeah, that is true. Just having to answer a page was a pain in the ass. Mike Krychek.
A random gamer, you just said, I love the 80s. I would like to bring a 160 gigabyte MP3 player though. Yep. That's pretty much it. Like, you cut the internet out. I had a great time without the internet. I did. we went out and did shit. So
Yeah, John Nada. Yes, I do remember the leather neckties. I did have one.
yes,
The skinny
They were
leather necktie.
multi-purpose.
I
They were
remember people having
multi-purpose.
those.
I loved them.
Fucking oh, the 80s. Yeah, that I mean they're okay. They're great. And it's you know, I'm sure people like when we were romanticizing the 60s, I was never really one of those who really, I mean, I like the music, but I didn't really want to live in the 60s. Okay. I thought that was kind of annoying, but it was the same thing. So like this cyclical thing is trippy.
Yeah.
You get old enough to watch it. Let's hit some more news.
Actually, what we should do is go to those comments since it is in our title.
It's not actually in our title.
Isn't it?
I put it in the description, but I didn't put it in the title.
Description.
Yeah, we have to get to. So we got to the Terminator, we got Stranger Things. Let me see if there's anything more important here we could check out. Yeah, pick something.
We can go to HBO, and Stephen Moffat are going to do a series on the time traveler's wife.
Yeah, because we want him messing with more time.
That didn't work when we did the movie with Hugh Jackman. So we're going to do it as a series. And I'm
Eric Bana. Eric Bana.
I'm sorry, Eric Bana. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Eric Bana. And that didn't work. And people bitched about it because it wasn't like the book. And Stephen Moffat, I want to get away from Doctor Who, but yet I'm going to go do the same thing practically as Doctor Who.
Yeah. As a series. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't seem like I saw parts of the movie because it was really boring. It was a really boring movie. And it didn't seem like there was enough there to do a series, let alone do a movie, let alone a series.
No. Probably they see the series because of he can just at will go and travel through time. But then again, why don't we just call it Doctor Who Light?
But wasn't he also not in control of it as well?
Yeah, he wasn't. Like he'd be with his wife and then he'd disappear.
Yeah.
So why would she stay married at that? That's
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was really stupid. So
like the most loyal, understanding, or possibly codependent woman ever. I don't yeah, I would not put up with that shit. What you know what we'll do is we'll end it with the comments. We'll that's how we'll go out. So I'll get that set up for a little bit later.
Jody says Stephen Moffat effed up Doctor Who. Why are they giving him another time travel thing for him to F up? Yeah, who knows?
No. Yeah, why aren't they rebooting Buck Rogers? I just saw, no duck, no buck. That would be fun.
Bitty.
And not the TV show. I'd love to see him do like a 30s era one. That would be awesome. But,
you mean like the real Buck Rogers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool is if you set it like you were saying in the 30s, but you have so here's the premise is your Buck Rogers is actually a serial. Like he's making a movie serial, like, one of those black and white ones. And he gets transported to the planet where he actually has to be Buck Rogers for real.
You mean Galaxy Quest?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you said in the 30s, man.
It's so different. It's in the 30s.
Reboot. Come on.
Yeah. I'd like to see Buck. I don't know. Or Flash Gordon. Either one. I fucking love Buck Rogers so much. I love those comics too. They were great comics. Persian Scribe, good night. Good night. I imagine we will not go past 11, which is probably hella late for you guys. Once Ancient Aliens is over, we'll go back to being earlier or I mean, this late start is kind of tough. It is
Linda Hunt action star.
Linda Hunt.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just made me laugh, man.
Commodore 64, Packard Bell. We're talking about old computers there.
Oh God, man.
Marcus Kahn says Flesh Gordon. Well,
yeah, Flesh Gordon. It was
Can't remake a classic.
Yeah,
that one I will not. I will draw the line at Flesh Gordon. A masterpiece.
The claymation monster. That's all I'm gonna say.
Duck Dodgers. That's right.
Yeah, we could redo Quantum Leap. Why not? Reboot that.
Sure. I think we should. I think we should just do it.
Did you guys
Fucking
see?
Terminator picture again? That's unbelievable.
So we all watched the Venom trailer, right?
Yes.
The second one that came
Yeah.
out.
Yes, we did.
I thought what was funny was that Netflix ended up trolling the new Venom trailer on Twitter. They did a beautiful job of it as well. They turn it into the farmer's commercial, the farmer's insurance commercial. We are Venom. Dun, 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 dun. They did a beautiful job.
That was pretty good. That was funny.
Yeah. And they just did a beautiful job of trolling them on that one. And really, they need to do it. There we go.
I mean, you can't hear it.
Oh, you
But-
can't hear it. Yeah. But that's fine. I mean, it just, they did a beautiful job. Yeah.
Well, Craven, supposedly Craven is going to be dependent on the success of Venom.
Yeah.
Well,
Grady Broyles actually wants to talk about the Venom trailer for a second as well.
I think we should. For one, I would like to hear what you, the Devil and Miss Jones, by the way, Grady Broyles. That's another one you don't mess with.
I want Beyond the Green Door or whatever that was.
Inside
Mhm.
Desiree Cousteau. Okay.
Oh,
That was the first porno I ever saw.
Lady Chatterley's Lover.
oh, that was softcore though.
Yeah, no,
that's
Adam
not-
West.
That's not really.
Adam West and softcore porn.
I'm going to remake all of the Emmanuel series.
Yeah, I was going to say Emmanuel. The first Emmanuel has the best fucking soundtrack ever, and I'm not kidding. It
Yeah.
is such a good soundtrack.
I'm going to reboot it now.
There you go. Reboot Emmanuel. Emmanuel in space and back again.
The Caligula remake. There we go.
Oh, I'd be on board for that.
All about Emmanuel.
You said that with a little too much enthusiasm.
Yes.
I did, didn't I? Yes, I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. We almost got a 1-900 Susan from that one.
Yeah, we did. We did. So what were you just talking about? Okay, the Venom trailer. Back on track. All right. So the new Venom trailer. The first one sucked. Okay, the first one really
Yeah,
sucked.
it was bad.
This one was. I see a lot of people giving it shit, and probably because I like Tom Hardy. I think it looked okay. I still hate Venom not being connected to Spider-Man and not having the big white spider on his chest. And this movie could still potentially be a ginormous piece of garbage, but that trailer was better than the previous trailer, so I didn't totally hate it. But
it was all the same footage.
It was
pretty much just.
I haven't seen that footage before, so this is new to me. So the latest Venom trailer, I thought it was okay with the especially with the big costume, and he's holding up the guy in the when he's calling him a turd, and or you'll be a turd in the wind or something like that. And I guess
he's gonna chew off his arms and legs and his.
But they redid it with that's Tom Hardy's voice now. He is the voice of Venom and of Eddie Brock at the same time. So yeah, I mean, all I know is they shot that movie here and they did Principal in like a month for a film.
Yeah.
Now I know Game of Thrones spent like 3 months on one episode, so that gives you context. I don't know, man. I don't know. The trailer looked pretty good though. It could have been way worse. It was not as bad as like the Star Trek Discovery trailer or I don't know. The Aquaman one was, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, what bothers me is the way Tom Hardy talks during this. That weird kind. Yeah, it's just very weird. And if it bothers me that much in the trailer,
yeah, it'll probably bother you. And that's Tom Hardy being method. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Is he trying to do a Jersey accent in the trailer?
Kind of, yeah. He's trying to be kind of a street level dude, reporter, kind of meek. Yeah, I mean, I've met dudes who talk like that. So I mean, that's an actual voice. Yeah, but it's yeah, I don't think it's probably not going to be a very good movie, but I like the trailer. I did.
And it's a shame because Tom Hardy is a very fine actor.
Artemis Overeasy, take care. Good night. Thank
Good
you for
night.
joining us. Hashtag small folks. We're all small folks here. Wonderful small folks. But thanks for joining us. And yeah, it's almost 2. Yeah, God, we got to start these things earlier.
Yeah, I love Tom Hardy as well. I mean, he's a great actor, but sometimes he picks some bad roles. It happens every now and then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It was funny. I was just thinking totally offside. Well, Tom Hardy was in a Star Trek movie. It's like ever since Star Trek
That's
Discovery has
true.
come out, I look at all other Star Trek completely differently now, and I appreciate it and
Yeah.
so much more. I'm like,
Nemesis.
Nemesis isn't that bad. You know, it's not. It's not, because I've actually seen something much, much, much worse. So I guess you could thank Star Trek Discovery for that. Yeah.
Wow.
Lowering the bar, though. He should be doing Taboo, Mary Ashmead. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I have not heard a peep on that show.
Isn't he a producer on that too?
Yeah, so him and Ridley Scott and Stephen Knight, and it's being written. I mean, it's a BBC thing. So,
Jody, I don't like Eddie Brock's voice. The way he does Eddie Brock's voice, it's weird. The cadence that he's using, it just is rubbing me wrong.
Peter Dinklage does an awesome Jersey accent. I bet he does, man. That guy is like, he's a fucking brilliant actor. I mean,
he's from Jersey.
Oh, is he? Okay, there you go.
That's why. There we go.
That's why.
Yeah. Marcus Kahn, there should be another Matrix movie, a continuation. The way they set it up was it should just keep going because they need to bring Neo back from the dead, kind of like Jesus. You know, after 3 days of being dead, he rises, sees his shadow, and we'll get 6 more weeks of winter.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, we should just reboot that whole franchise with a new Keanu.
The Temptation of the Matrix.
The last temptation of the Matrix.
The last temptation of the Matrix. There we go.
That sounds like a porn flick.
I'm sure there is someone with that title out there. Who knows? Can we reboot the next generation? The next generation after the last one is what Nigel Brot Savage says. Probably. Better take a lot of bleach.
DLS Master, I will check that out. I saw that here. You guys.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't they going to kind of sort of do that with Patrick Stewart if he comes into the STD universe?
Yeah. That's the whole thing is we don't know if this is going to be Kelvin universe or if this is going to be original. More than likely it's going to be Kelvin because if it's on CBS All Access, they don't have the rights to the original trilogy, the original series, because the original series is in the films. So it's going to be Kelvin universe is what that's going to be. So they can do whatever they want on that.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Which means, he can go in and mess up his entire character. All he wants. Yeah. Hey, Groundhog Day, Bad Bunny has been remade so many times in different shows, different movies that it's already been done.
I was reading an open letter from the Quartering talking about his incident.
From who?
Thanks for the Quartering. It's Jeremy from the Quartering. It's a YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
And he got attacked at Gen Con. And
Solidary, go back and watch the beginning of our video here, and you'll see what we talked about about Daredevil being canceled. So.
Yeah. If we give you a quick rundown, Daredevil season 3 is going to be its last season on Netflix due to the fact that the 2019 agreement with Marvel is going to end, and that is right when their streaming service is going to be kicking in the gear. I believe it's actually starting next year.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a lot of assumptions, but it's also common sense. It's common sense that the Netflix agreement will not continue. They will need as much content as possible. So there is a good chance that Daredevil would move to the streaming service, but they would probably want to do their own thing with Daredevil. I don't know. But I, on the other side of that, and this is why I think that there might be some friction with Kevin Feige in the future, is they're going to want more stuff on their streaming service, which means they're going to want more TV shows, which may mine the Marvel Universe a little bit, I don't know how that could play out. I see a potential for a battle there. But Daredevil will not remain on Netflix. My best educated guess, post 2019, some people might take us to task on that, but I bet you we'll be right on that.
Bad Bunny asks, are we ever going to hear the Cloak and Dagger lines?
Yes. Let's do it.
Yes, let's do this.
I gotta find it. I don't know where. What was the guy's name?
It's under the not the one that we did last night, but the other episode 9. It's the first. It's the first one that's there.
It's gone now.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, they flagged it. Hang on, I gotta.
That's kind of funny.
You said it's under the last week's episode, right? Not this week's, but
yeah, last week's
Backbreaker.
Yes, Backbreaker. Should be at the very top. So you can bear with us as we go through that and take a look at it.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna read this to you. It's from Tyrone Blackshear. Okay, not calling you out, Tyrone. This is a response to your comment. We usually don't do this, but because for one, we have awesome subscribers and people here who will respond in kind, and it's okay to come to our videos and disagree with this. It is an open forum. But here's my response. I would even appreciate some of what you said, but it's how you said it. So here we go. I really like the Cloak and Dagger episode, but to hear your breakdown, I realize your male white perspective is letting me know I can't be vibing with you anymore. So it got 5 likes. Artemis Over Easy said, Tyrone, why does a review comment have to involve someone's race? Aren't we trying to get rid of that everyday discussion? Maybe the writing on the show just sucked, which it does, by the way. Oh, by the way, I'm going to hit a like and a heart on that one. Artemis Over Easy, thank you so much. His response is, I can respect your opinion and the opinions of these guys, but like I said, their viewpoint was mostly the viewpoint of the main host, super white male identification, which I have no problem with, really. There are, and this is his writing, not my words. There are blacks that have super black male identification, but I look at my critics to have more open view. I am not a critic. Period. Viewpoint, and I just realized it was over a couple of videos I watched. I'm not saying anyone is racist, but too limited in their appreciation of the creative art form. This is like kind of a well-written comment. He seems to prefer basic hero trope with the drama, social commentary, and romance, which give the superhero genre a more complex scope and allowing it to be more appealing genre for more viewers and last longer. With the oversaturation of materials on both TV, theaters, and Marvels and companies, which I would totally agree with. I actually agree with that statement, except that this show doesn't apply to any of those things. We're talking about Cloak and Dagger here. Black Lightning is a basic black superhero with very heavy twist black commentary, which I don't mind, but wouldn't recommend to everyone. Legion is an ambiguous psychological horror superhero show, which I like, but I wouldn't recommend to most. Daredevil is a written action superhero with a small twist, law drama, more appealing to guys with these tastes, and I like it as well, but I prefer Jessica Jones more. I appreciate more of character development and simple action. I believe that the action carries more weight when you are more invested in characters. I absolutely agree with that. But just bringing in I mean, this is what happens when you see people with through a 3x5 lens, basically, on your phone or whatever. And I know Dennis read this to me yesterday. And you misread one thing, though, bud. He said perspective and not privilege. So you with me, Dennis?
Yeah, I read it. I read that as correctly when I was reading it to you. Yeah.
No, last night you said privilege, not perspective.
No, it's okay. I originally, before I actually started reading it to you, I said that, and I misspoke on that one.
Yeah. So you know, it's actually it's a good comment, but it just absolutely doesn't apply to this show at all. All right. It's very well written. He took the time. Tyrone took the time, but basically, you know, whatever my perspective is my perspective and your perspective. But to call Cloak and Dagger a deep, emotionally show or emotional show is fucking ridiculous. It's anything but. It's one of the most shallow shows I've ever seen. The storytelling was paint by numbers at best. The acting was subpar, and the production level was okay and it's a freeform show, so I didn't expect much. But the thing was, it actually started out pretty good, and it turned into like the worst shtick of a freeform show at the very end. So that's where I will disagree with you. And as far as like life's perspective and you know, privilege or prestige or anything like that, what was the other one that said that was it down here further about the
that's
toys?
actually, oh yeah, it's yeah, no, that's on a different podcast. I'd have
Yeah,
to
we
dig for
got
that
we
one.
got another one that called us out for but you know, I can't, I don't have a perspective on anything. So yeah, just send me that one. We'll talk about it later. Yeah, that was it. I thought it was pretty well written out. But my response to that one is thank you for commenting. We really appreciate it. The writing sucked. That's it's simply so. For me, not knowing a perspective of one of the characters, I don't know. I could actually Tandy is the character I could identify with a lot because I have been on drugs and homeless. I've actually lived like that in my life. So yeah, not a lot of privilege there. Not a lot of privilege there.
Bad Bunny says Cloak and Dagger is a period piece TV series for silly teenage girls.
Oh my god! What really sucked in the last episode was that when the auntie was reading all the historical stuff that was just historically inaccurate, and like usually you don't tie in, like you do it once in a story, like if you're building a world, right?
Yeah.
And you're like in a Stephen King nog and you do like tell a little tale of your town. But when you start connecting historic stories of the building of New Orleans, and they're all fictional tales, and actually they were more interesting than the actual story we were getting in our show.
Yeah, the other thing too that really got us was we were talking about, you know, she's telling these stories, but she's not imparting why they're important to this story. And that was the whole thing. It's like, okay, so why are you bringing this up? Are you just dipping back into the rum again? What's going on? She'd been drinking rum in the previous episode. That's the reason why. So we didn't know what time of day if this happened the next day, or if this happened like an hour after she came in and was still, you know, drinking the rum, or what was going on. And yeah, it was just kind of like, you know, do you have a point to this?
There wasn't a point to the show. So the show, we had 10, and this was my biggest complaint, and this is where I will take that dude to task about basically he called us shallow. So
Wow.
yeah, he called us shallow, which is, I mean, usually we get the you're not smart enough to understand the show. So he essentially said we weren't we were shallow and not emotionally deep enough to get that show. And if you get any kind of emotions out of that show, then okay, that's cool. I mean, I'm not going to judge you. Like I said, that with Star Trek, there's something for everybody. There's people out there who really love Star Trek Discovery. There's no accounting for taste. I'm sorry. You some people just don't have good taste. All right. I would say I would put mine to the test. I was a successful comic store owner for 10 years, and you cannot sell any kind of entertainment if you have shitty taste.
Jody says this actually pretty well. He says, but the show wasn't well written. You are sharing your reaction to the show. Why does he have to bring socio-political stuff into the discussion? Exactly. And as I've said before, attack the topic, not the person, which is what that was about. That comment was more...
It's projection. The comment was projection. It was actually that person probably needs to look within their soul, because I mean, I don't see life through that lens, but that person does. So that's basically what it was. I don't see Cloak and Dagger as a black show. Okay, I saw it as a TV show with two people in it who were superheroes that were barely, actually they were cosplayers, barely that. The show was a tease. So you want to mask a superhero show with a teenage drama. And I would say Cloak and Dagger was probably a repurposed script from something else. And we were talking about that the other day, Dennis. That like we see that a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah. We were talking about that with Castle Rock, that it was probably a repurposed show that's they couldn't sell, and they sprinkled some Stephen King in there and like, oh, we got it sold.
And this is how Hollywood sees women. Yeah. Okay. They're all, women don't like superhero stuff, but they kind of like it, but they like drama more and romance. So they're still back in 1987 with how they view females. And this is why we get a lot of projection from Hollywood. You know, they're the backwards assholes. Like I've said before, they're the ones who wouldn't cast women for the longest time. And when a woman turned 40, they're the ones who stopped casting them altogether. And if they did cast them, it was a mom or an auntie or something like that. They're the ones who did it, not us. Okay. With Cloak and Dagger, it's really simple. A movie Finobi, Jody, Dennis just said it. It was a poorly written show that wasn't a superhero show. They sold it as something it wasn't. Look at the promotional stuff for it. It looks really good. They've got Cloak. She's wearing kind of a costume. They don't wear costumes. They don't wear costumes at all.
Nope.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I actually, we've brought this up before too. This whole thing about superhero shows not using costumes. Fucking use the costumes.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that it looks ridiculous sometimes. You can do costumes well. It has been done before. Do the costumes. That's what we want to see. We don't care. We don't want this to be grounded in reality. The reason why we're watching this is because we're trying to escape reality most of the time. We want to see something in fantasy. So, yeah.
But don't you feel that everything now, they're trying to base everything in reality?
Yeah.
Like whenever we watch television, we can't escape what's going on in the news or what latest fuck up is going on. Because when we turn on the television, we get message after message, social agendas. It's like there is no entertainment. Yeah, and I don't even know if I can call it infotainment.
They based the show that was supposed to be in New York, in New Orleans. Okay.
Because they're similar.
And yeah. And they, of course, they had to put in policing politics because they were in New Orleans. It actually is part of the story. Okay. And drugs are part of the story too. That's fine. And dirty cops are part of the story.
Right.
But they had to inject a lot more than they needed to. And it wasn't fun. That's part of the Cloak and Dagger was fun. Comic books are fun. They're fun and thrilling, even when they get to dark subjects. Like, Frank Miller comic, Frank Miller's Batman has looked at this super dark thing. It's funny as hell. Have you read it? I mean, you got to read it. It's funny. I mean, in a very dark way, but it's funny. So it's got a lot of moments of levity in it. And yeah, we love Susan.
And it's also very dated too, because that's the other thing. If you put your pop culture or your topical references in there at the time, you were dating your show or your
show. Yeah. And what is so hot right now is pop culture references. God, stop it, please.
Yeah.
That's we want superhero. I want emotional depth, and actually, to think that Legion doesn't have emotional depth, you're crazy. For one.
I mean, the fact, this whole thing about whether or not Sid is being manipulated into, thinking that David violated her.
Yeah. Right there. That's not emotionally deep, though.
That's not emotionally deep at all. Yeah, really. Come on. I mean, and I'm just taking one little portion of the show.
You know what's emotionally deep? I really needed it, but now you need it. Though you don't need it, but I need you.
That's just poorly written dialogue. It sounds like a 15-year-old in Heat wrote it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Who?
Actually, I'll say that guy's comment was written better than anything in the show.
Yeah, it was eloquent.
Yeah, it was very eloquent. Reality is overrated, Jody. Oh my God, how many times have I said that? Yeah, it's overrated. We do this for escapism. That's why we're here. And
Yeah.
the only reason we bring it up is it's gotten really bad. It's gotten really, really bad. And Felipe Diaz, you did just bring up a totally off topic, just pinged in my head. American Gods is another show delayed till 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That should be out right now.
That's
That I
because of the
love.
showrunner.
Issues, which is never good.
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't know if the guy.
Showrunners.
Yeah, I would say probably go back and Neil Gaiman's probably wishing they because I think it was originally pitched as just being a one series thing, and they decided to make it a series. Because the book isn't super long, okay, and it's not like spoilers. It's not like there's this big battle between gods at the end. I mean, there is something, but it's very Neil Gaiman. Okay.
Bad Bunny says wearing the Son of Satan t-shirt in this deep conversation, the irony.
Right. But we're not deep. I'm not deep. Hey, Lou, I could be a very simple man sometimes. That's fine. I love simplicity is awesome. Really is. Keep it simple. That's a saying in AA. It's called keep it simple. It's about not making your life too complicated.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Kahn, yeah, exactly. Starship Troopers avoided dating itself, and it still stands well today. It does, because it doesn't do any topical stuff. It actually didn't even really follow the book all that well, to tell you the truth, because the book was dated.
That movie's fun, man.
Yeah,
that movie is so much fun. And like that's the one where I saw the trailer. I'm like, that's gonna be the biggest piece of shit. And I watched it. I'm like, I like that. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I've watched it again like recently, and it's still pretty good. It still holds up. Jody says, Dennis, maybe he thinks depth is what the CW shows have.
Yeah, I mean, it's all a matter of like, maybe he's young. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a he. Yeah. And maybe he's young, and maybe that is deep, and it still would have been. It still wouldn't be.
I mean, because when Dawson's Creek was on in the 90s, I was in my 20s, and I thought it was kind of deep because of the way the teenagers talk like adults, and they were in adult situations. But I'm sure if I went back and looked at that with a 52-year-old woman's eyes, I'd be like, wow, this dialogue sucks. What were they thinking? So he probably is a younger guy, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And Son the Wombat actually brings up a good point here too. He says the problems David has with his mental health has some serious emotional depth in Legion.
Yeah, because they actually tackle that. I mean, when they don't need to. That's what makes Legion a special show. Is like once they got past that, even though they loop back around, and that is part of his thing. Is the big reveal at the end of the season was he has two afflictions. Both are true, basically, and that was heavy. And the ending of season 2 was really heavy, really, really heavy. Like, because I felt bad for David.
Yeah, because he's been trying to be normal, or what passes as normal, and he's been doing everything, jumping through the hoops, and they're just like, nope, we got to drug you again. We're just gonna make you stupid to bring you everything down to your level. And he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try everything the other way around this time. I'm gonna become a god and fuck you all.
Yeah, and you know what? Like he was responsible for what he did to Sid, but he was manipulated by Farouk a little bit, and one of his I mean, he's got multiple personalities, and he's clearly crazy. And this is a bad guy story, and that's what made it tragic. It was really tragic. So good. Normal is very overrated. Yeah. Bad Bunny. I don't even know what normal is. I mean, I defend normies. I like normies. Normies buy a lot of comics. Normies are good people. I know a lot of normies, like my parents. Well, no, my parents aren't. My mom is really fucking out there. Melissa's dad is a normie. He's a good guy. I don't know how many normies are in here, but normies are always welcome and they're wonderful and they make the world go around. But I like being out in the tattered edges of everything. It's fun. It's fun.
So we should probably wrap things up here since we're losing some people here and there. So it is 11 o'clock. And
yeah, it's 11. Well, it's a good sign when we lose about 10. It's time to go. And we still got some news to get to, and I'll probably get to it Monday. Keep an eye out, patrons, for a patron only chat. I got to talk to Dennis about it. It's going to be sometime in the next 72 hours, but I want to give you plenty of time. So I'm more naughty than Normie, says Bad Bunny. Nice. So we're going to start doing the patron only hangout at least every other week. And I would like to do it weekly. Our next show will be, what is our next show?
Our next show is going to be Preacher.
Well, our next show we're covering Preacher. Cibola Burn I'm reviewing Sunday morning. There's something else. Oh, there's the Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers
after Preacher.
well. Yep.
And then Monday, it's God damn it, it's
Lodge 49.
Lodge 49.
Yes. Are
And
you guys doing that on Monday?
Lodge 49. We're doing it Monday night, super late though. It's like uber late. Better Call Saul, and there's other stuff. There's like 2 things on Monday. I think it's Better Call Saul, and
you're doing Better Call Saul, and then we're going to do Lodge 49.
Lodge 49. And then and then it's back to Castle Rock has moved. Dennis is no longer going to do Castle Rock because he hates it, and that's fine. I understand. I'm going to be doing it late at night because it fits better into my schedule. It's not great for the live schedule, but you can always watch it as a video. But it's we're gonna because I actually get it at 9 o'clock my time on Tuesday.
Oh man, Langley Neely says, "Hey guys, just wanted to say hi, let you know I'm watching from the hospital."
Oh no,
man, no,
Langley, get better, man.
Yeah, get better.
We love you, man.
Jeez.
Everybody, you can have a good night. Say prayers for Langley if you do that kind of thing. If not, say prayers anyway. And Dennis, start thanking the chat.
I want to thank Langley Neely for coming in from the hospital. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jody Feisty Fan, Robert Wilk. Hey, how's it going? Slurmy Scott, Bad Bunny, Susan Leighton, of course. Nigel Brote Savage. Said Brian Smart. Mary Ashmead. Mike Krychek. How's it going? Stun the Wombat. Marcus Kahn. Carrie Dalton. Felipe Diaz. We have a lot more people in here. I know that, but a lot of people.
Let me interject real quick. I am going to reach out to Doomcock. I saw he gave me a message right before I started, but I couldn't read it. So hopefully I can hang out with Doomcock soon. I really miss him and I want to talk to him. So
nice.
I will do everything in my power to make that happen. I don't know what he's probably, he's got a tough schedule too. And but I really want to talk to him. I miss my Doomcock, man.
Thank you, John Nada, Morks, Apple Crow, Philip A. Demick. We had a few more people in here.
Marcus Kahn, thank you. I will get to those when he's done too. Thanks for reminding me.
Sladari. We have quite a few people. And Nihilus Shadow. There we go. Rough Girl. How's it going, Rough Girl? I didn't see you in here earlier. Stephen Ernst. And Agent Future. That's right. Agent Future was here. Viking Bitch, who was in earlier. Random Game User 42. DLS Master. And
right now you're seeing our wonderful and Artemis Over Easy is a patron too. And you're seeing our patrons run across here. Towards the end of this video, you will see a couple of quick pictures of some of the things you can get if you are a patron with the Nerdrotic channel. Patreon.com/Nerdrotic. You can give as little as $1 a day and get great entertainment over here. And you're helping us. I don't know about great entertainment. I might be pushing it there. But if you become a $5 tier subscriber or a $15 tier subscriber, you get stuff. And patrons, I will be charging you tomorrow. So,
and my final two, Grady Broyles and Amari Daniels.
There we go.
And everybody else that I couldn't scroll up to see that I missed.
You see the exclusive comics that we get. You saw representation of the action figures you might get. There is still some vintage Star Wars action figures left to give away to potential new patrons. We did get 4 more, and I need to contact them before I put their names up. It's a new lesson I learned from the internet. Thanks, Langley. It's the best entertainment. It is because of the chat, like I always say. And speaking of chat, let's get to the super chats. which were Movie Fanobi for $2.99, Feisty Fan. Feisty, it feels like I haven't talked to you in forever. We need to talk soon. $4.99 from Feisty Fan. Movie Fanobi, $1.99. Viking Bitch, $2. Agent Future, $5. Marcus Khan, $1.99. And Crazy Carlos for $24.99. Looks like we're covering Vikings. Thank you so much. And everybody in chat, thank you so much. Again, we will see. There's a lot of shows coming in the next couple days, so we'll be seeing you guys a lot, and there might be some surprises coming along. So, Dennis, take us out.
Before that, actually, Susan, plug your wares.
Sure, you can read me at 1428.com, 1428 Elm. And starting August 13th, I'll be on the Heroic Hollywood site, so you can catch me there. And you can find me on Twitter at Susan on the Ledge, at Conversion on Instagram, and I'm also on Facebook as well. And we have a new podcast that's out. It's kind of like a TV show called Unrestricted Content. So you can find us on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter at content_podcast.
All right.
What's your Twitter, Dennis?
My Twitter is at DeForce. Yours is at Nerderotics.
Excellent. Nerderotic.com is where our schedule is. Please check it daily. That's where our live schedule is. I usually book it out a week in advance. A lot of fun stuff coming. And yeah, our schedule is open for tomorrow night, but there is a slot to be announced. That will be announced probably later tonight or tomorrow. Now you can take us out, Dennis.
Children of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because otherwise it gets really late and your tongue ends up tying up in knots.
Say goodnight, Susan.
Good night, everybody.
May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao.
Good night, everyone.